Adrian, thank you, and a very good evening to you. Bienvenido a Miami for a match that encapsulates what the World Cup is all about. The holders, inspired by a player many think to be the greatest of them all, against the rank outsiders, minnows, debutants, but still undefeated. Messi and co. against Cape Verde, a team that widely leans on the diaspora of Cabo Verdeans around the world, made up of players in the Portuguese and Turkish second divisions, Bulgaria, Romania and beyond, not to mention a very likeable Dubliner. An unlikely mix, earned by the Blue Sharks' brilliance in qualifying and heroics in the group stage when two former World Cup winners failed to get one over them. And as they try and mastermind one of the all-time great shots, they'll be wheeled on by millions in neutrals around the world, but by next to nobody here in Miami, because this corner of Florida is Messi land. During the course of the World Cup, this is the only chance that the city that's been his home for the last 3 years will get to see him in the famous blue and white. As always, the levels of public adulation are akin to Spinal Tap's amplifiers, now laced with the knowledge that every World Cup game he plays could, conceivably, be his last. If this does end up being his swan song on the world stage, it will be as big a story as this wonderful tournament has ever thrown up. Well, these are the teams. Emi Martinez in goal for Argentina. Molina, Romero, Lisandro Martinez and Medina the back four. Paul and Almada wide. McAllister and Enzo Fernandez in central midfield. Lautaro Martinez alongside Messi. Becomes the first player ever to feature in 30 World Cup games. Vizinha in goal. Fame beyond his wildest dreams now. Moreira, Pico, Borges and Sidney Cabral at the back. Kevin Pina anchors the midfield. Mendes, Deroy Duarte, Laros Duarte and Giovanni Cabral, and then Nuno da Costa out front in a 4-1-4-1 formation. Argentina in the famous light blue and white, Verde in the very dark blue shirts and even darker shorts, taking the acclaim of two little pockets of their countrymen in the crowd. There's probably about 100, 150 or so immediately behind the goal away to our right hand side, and then on the higher tier here a slightly wider pocket of them who are looking down and praying for a miracle. Referee today at Miami's Hard Rock Stadium is the Canadian Drew Fisher. Well, two countries find themselves between a Hard Rock and a place in the last 16. The holders against the World Cup's feel-good story as Cape Verde take on Messi and co, eyeing the most stunning shock of the lot. 10 wins in a row for Argentina. They've only conceded once in their last 6 games. Cape Verde without a win here, but more importantly without a defeat. 6 unbeaten, and they have only lost one of their last 13. Will this be the most famous days that we talk about forever? Cape Verde will get us underway. They're kicking from right to left. The skies overhead still decidedly threatening. The bad weather has passed. And we are going to kick off as scheduled at 11 o'clock your time. And here we go, with Cape Verde getting us off and running. The ball laid back by the former Nottingham Forest striker Nuno da Costa. He never scored a goal in his time in the East Midlands. And the ball is played back now for Pico, the Dubliner. Crumlin, Shamrock Rovers player, lays it square to his left for Borges. Ball forward from him, headed down by Romero, and out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Cape Verde left-hand side. And I know, Stuart Pearce, that they really impressed you when you saw them against Spain. You weren't surprised that they gave such a good account of themselves as they did. What was it that really caught your eye about it?
Well, it wasn't just the performance against Spain and, defending and, yes, they rode their luck at times, but their counter-attack threat was there. The way they burst forward, having turned the ball over, you thought this could be a real threat going forward. I said to you, I'll leave it with you now, Jim.
The Argentina losing the ball. It's chipped inside the penalty area. It goes through the right-hand side of the box and go out of play for a Cape Verde goal kick.
Yeah, the performance showed a real threat on the turnover of possession. A lot of teams that are subservient to the opposition sit back, defend deep, and when they get the ball, it's just a hurry clearance. That wasn't the case with Cape Verde. They played it, and they played it quickly, and they went with numbers. I said to you after that first game, I think they'll win one of their next two games. And they've ended up drawing both of them and got their really good results, you know, so be interested to see. They don't need to be too subservient today and respect Argentina too much.
And as a result, they are the first debutants to be unbeaten in the group stage of a World Cup since Senegal back in 2002. Also the first team through to the knockouts without winning a game since Chile 4 years prior to that. The Argentinians in possession have the ball with Molina on the right-hand side. He's laid it back for Rodrigo de Paul and very nearly seized upon by Nuno da Costa. His touch a little bit too heavy and then slightly sloppy. Romero going back to his goalkeeper, only just diverted it past the Cape Verde striker again. There will be a real intensity about Cape Verde. They will try and press, do everything they can, knowing that this is going to be a day where they see precious little of the ball. And to try and force errors, they've done it again here. And Sidney Cabral, the left back, can work it forward. We can't find Laros Duarte in the midfield. Kevin Pina stepping forward. He's the midfield anchor man, wearing 6, playing in front of the back 4. Argentina getting it forward here for Lautaro Martinez. Out to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Cape Verde forced them away, but it's still 20 yards outside the box as it's delivered out towards Medina. Back for Lisandro Martinez. Take a touch on the edge of the centre circle before working it forward. Argentina will expect probably to have about 75% of the ball, something like that. Judging by Cape Verde possession in the first 2 of the group games that they had against Spain and Uruguay, both of which ended all square. They'll work it forward here to Molina, bottom right-hand corner of the penalty area. He's gone down holding his face, but the Canadian referee, Drew Fisher, says that there was no case to answer. Play allowed to continue, and Cape Verde will bring it away. 3.5 gone here on TalkSport at 0-0.
Yeah, as I say, the Argentina have not got to take this Cape Verde side too lightly. But on the other side of the coin, Cape Verde certainly have not got to go into this game with too much respect. They've got to get after Argentina on turnover of possession, be aggressive. They're an athletic side. We've shown that in the group stage already.
Difficult, I guess, when you're playing against a team that are the existing holders and who've only lost 5 of their last 86 matches, which is a quite extraordinary record. In fact, Scaloni's 100th game in charge today. He's won 72 and lost only 9, and 4 of those defeats came early on in his reign. The side have conceded a free kick here, which will be taken on the Verdean left, and Giovanni Cabral and Sidney Cabral, the 2 players that stand over him, right in front of the Argentinian dugout. Argentina with a line of 7 across the edge of the penalty area, just outside the penalty area. Sidney Cabral will just work the free kick short. Tapped it up the left-hand touchline. Now, Giovanni Cabral, the left winger, with the delivery. Half clear, goes out to Rian Mendes, wants from Nottingham Forest. On the right wing, he drives it in. It's blocked by Medina and goes out of play for a Cape Verde throw. They've already shown, as they did early on against Spain, that they're not here to make up the numbers. There is a respect, but there's no deference from this side to Argentina.
Indeed, there's not, Jim. As I say, that struck me in that first game against Spain. Really impressed with them, and they're worthy of their place at this World Cup.
They finished above Cameroon in qualifying, 4 points clear. It was absolutely no fluke that they've made it. It's not a situation like Sweden where they've been able to qualify through the back door, far from it. Paul winning the ball back in the midfield. An early touch for Messi, who's not seen too much of it in the early stages, but certainly won't be bothered by that. Alexis McAllister now plays it back through the midfield, and it comes down to Molina. And an opportunity for Enzo Fernandez, wearing 24, one of the players that started the last World Cup final for Argentina, and there are several of them in the starting 11. 6 in all, including Messi, who is just ambling forward deep into Cape Verdean territory. Ball sent wider though towards Molina. Molina playing it back to the halfway line. Romero towards McAllister. Well challenged in there by Cabral. And Argentina win a 50-50 and all they do is punt it forward. And Vizinha gets his first meaningful touch. 6 minutes gone here in Miami. It is a really close, sticky early evening here. 5 hours behind you here on the East Coast. So it's what's coming up at 6:10 local time as Vizinha turns away inside his penalty area with the ball at his feet. It felt a little bit chancy, and McAllister then trying to pick it up in the midfield. Vizinha back in position. Argentina can't work it forward. Messi looking to Lautaro Martinez. And then Ians will chip an early ball over the top. Rian Mendes has got it. Giovanni Cabral waiting in space on the edge of the penalty area. Gets a shot in, which actually takes a little nick off Romero. That wrong-footed Emi Martinez, but it took all the pace out of it. So he could just retrace his steps, bend down, gather cleanly. And we're 0-0 through the opening 7 minutes here on TalkSport.
Yeah, a bit of loose play there by both sides. Cape Verde losing it and encouraging Argentina to get on the front foot. Then they lose it, and all of a sudden it's 3 against 4, bearing down on the Argentinian box.
The winners of this one take on Egypt in Atlanta on Tuesday. The Egyptians beating Australia on penalties with the 2 Aussie centre halves both missing in the spot kick. A shootout. Later on TalkSport, Colombia meet Ghana. They're playing for the right to take on Switzerland. That kicks off at 2:30 your time. Colombia, Ghana, live on TalkSport. We've got all 104 games from the tournament here on the TalkSport network, including this one here in Miami. As a little bit of a drizzle in the air now. McAllister playing it out to the left flank. Medina will make his way forward. He's level the edge of the penalty area as he slips it in towards Almada, who then spins away. Right-footed cross, hit very deep down towards the Argentinian right. Ball doesn't find Molina. It's well intercepted by Giovanni Cabral, and he will now be able to work it forward for his namesake Sydney, coming forward up the left flank. He's midway in Argentinian territory. 3 of the Albiceleste around him, and they were able to dispossess him relatively easily, and they'll be able to build from the back. But through the opening 8 minutes, neither goalkeeper's had anything to do so far, and that's just a little mini victory in itself for Babista and his Cape Verde team.
Yeah, they'll be pleased with this start that they've had. A couple of times they've turned the ball over. We just saw one there where that counter-attack went. Messi just trying to probe down this right-hand side. Pass over hit. Just too far for Martinez.
So the Cape Verde haven't had a chance as yet. That's no real surprise when you consider that Argentina have only faced 2 shots on target so far in the whole World Cup in 279 minutes of play.
Well, look, they're one of the teams that's impressed so far. Yes, they've not come up against a blue chip side at present, but them and the French at the moment are the 2 that have impressed, and Messi free scoring as well.
Flip side of that, Argentina haven't had a touch in the Cape Verde boxes yet. They've just given another free kick away, and Giovanni Cabral has caught the eye, wearing 7 for Cape Verde, the Blue Sharks, able to bring the ball forward. He's won a free kick, which has been taken quickly, goes back for Pico. Pico making his way forward, trying to slide it down the inside right channel, but it's gone past Nuno da Costa. He's come off the bench in all 3 games so far, but starts the biggest of the lot in preference to Dylan Livramento, leading the line for Cape Verde today. And I mentioned Giovanni Cabral. He played more than 100 games for Sporting Lisbon. He featured in Serie A for Lazio, one of the most experienced at a high level in this Cape Verde team, who are just dropping off in shape. Very narrow back 4. Ball slipped forward towards Lautaro Martinez, is easily read by Borges, whose clearance goes over halfway, only as far as Lisandro Martinez.
Yeah, Messi there just for the second time in the game, just dropping into midfield, and you just see his mind whirring, thinking, looking to probe, and it was a lovely reverse pass through the lines.
And he's waiting now between left back and centre half. Stood absolutely stone dead still. Now just goes up to not even a walk, little shuffle, but they're still in a position to be able to find it. Rigor Paul goes back to his goalkeeper. The problem is with Messi, you know that you can keep him quiet and reduce his influence for varying periods of time. It's a lot easier said than done. But even then, when he's completely quiet, it takes one moment, and that is why he scored more goals in the World Cup finals than anybody else, 19 in all. He might be in a position here to score his 20th. It's cleared by Kevin Pina from the edge of the penalty area, out to the right back Moreira, and his ball forward up the right-hand touchline just drifts away, puts a little bit of pressure on Medina, who's forced to come across and slip it out of play for a throw. It'll be taken on the Cape Verde right, and the beast of their coach will be delighted with the start that they've made through the opening 12 minutes.
Yeah, they certainly have. They've played well, they've been confident in possession of the ball, which has been really good, knocked it around, and they've had the opportunity to get forward. They've not turned it down, they've gone forward with the ball, either running with it or without it.
We'll try and work a long one over the top here for Nuno da Costa, but it's easily mopped up by Emi Martinez. They won the World Cup once in the last 40 years, Argentina, aiming to be only the third team in the tournament's history to retain it. I'll let you just have a think about who the other two were. The most arduous trivia question you'll ever get, I appreciate that. So Sandro Martinez comes forward through the centre circle, slipping it to the right-hand side here for McAllister. Now played out of the left for Medina. Medina controlling it. Back to the Argentinian back four again. Sandro Martinez will venture forward. Then he knocks it to his right-hand side for Romero. Romero into the feet on the edge of the penalty area. Well read by Pico. He gets it away. Everybody from Cape Verde well inside their own half. And Alessandro Martinez, as Cape Verde knock it away, will be able to chase after the loose ball. He's got all the time in the world to run round it and bring it back under control. It's 0-0. Possession at the moment, but not quite as marked in Argentina's favour as you might necessarily have expected. 57-43. As Cape Verde could have had the only attempt of the day so far. 13 minutes in here. Very close, sticky Miami evening in Miami Gardens, the home of the Miami Dolphins at the Hard Rock Stadium. A stadium that now has the Formula One track going all the way round it. Argentina in pole position in this game. Certainly according to the bookmakers, but nothing to show for that optimism yet. 0 the score, 14 minutes gone. It's Romero. Plays it out towards the Argentinian left. Cape Verde backing off. Just drop into a back five with Kevin Pina between the centre halves. Lautaro Martinez with a little layoff here. Shot from a tight angle across the face of goal. Might just have taken a little nick on his way through there from Messi. Goal kick given rather than a corner, and no complaints from him. He got it onto his favoured left foot, but spinning away at a tight angle. He's dragged it wide of Vecinia's far post. Yeah,
just dragged it too far wide there, but this is a game for Cape Verde. It's all about concentration, really. All of a sudden, there was no real danger. They've had everyone in place, then all of a sudden, a couple of quick passes, they're in the box, and it's that man, Messi, that just drives into the box and frees himself up for a shooting effort.
6 goals so far. Hat-trick against Algeria, 2 against Austria, came off the bench and netted against Jordan. So he's now, you bring 2022 into play as well, scored in 7 consecutive World Cup games. Nobody else has ever done that. If he was to net again today, he'd be the first player since the Brazilian Vava back in 1962 to score in 5 successive knockout ties within the World Cup. He'd also become the first player ever to score in 6 different World Cup rounds. It's because this round of 32 new for this particular tournament. He's scored in all the others in which he's ever played, but he's never previously had a round of 32 tie. It's 0-0 through the opening 15 minutes here on Talk Sport. Cape Verde defending really well. Not up against the ropes by any stretch of the imagination. So Sandro Martinez works it out towards Medina, slipped into the feet on the edge of the penalty area. Messi is just waiting again to try and get involved. He comes back for Almada. Almada with a clever little spin on the edge of the box and rolling the ball into the feet of Messi. Was a strong challenge on him, and he's won a free kick. He was back to his feet immediately, but just a little darting movement from his statuesque position towards the ball, and it was far too good for the Cape Verde defender, who came in from the side of him, Giovanni Cabral, and caught his ankles, and it's a free kick to Argentina in a really good position. 12 outside the box, left to centre.
That was a little bit harsh, actually. Looked a decent tackle. I thought he got first contact, but what it does, it frees up a potential shooting opportunity. Level with the post, probably just under 30 yards away. So
some breaking news. FIFA expected to make a final call on the kickoff time for England-Mexico in the next couple of hours. A plan put in place to bring the game forward by 6 hours due to thunderstorm threats caused an angry backlash from both teams, and TalkSport now understands that FIFA potentially could U-turn and revert to the original kickoff time of 1 a.m. Monday morning UK time, which is a 6 p.m. kickoff in Mexico. So it's a breaking story, a developing story, and we'll keep you updated. But just as it looked as though the plans were going to be changed and set in stone, the reverse lights have come on. Potentially. We'll keep you updated as soon as we know anything hard and fast. Here in Miami, 17 minutes gone, and an opportunity for Argentina from a free kick. All eyes in the stadium on Lionel Messi. He's got a four-man wall to try and curve this over. He runs up, hits it left-footed, and the goalkeeper got down. It dipped enough, easily enough. It didn't have the pace on it to beat Vizinha, who could trot across behind his wall and make a comfortable stop. 0-0.
Yeah, as I say, not enough pace on the ball. He's got it up and down, decent angle, but the goalkeeper more than comfortable, just dipping down and scooping up.
So 0-0 score. 18 minutes played. Argentina in possession. Chipping it over the top here for Molina's run. Molina threading it through, and Messi very nearly got there. Vizinha rushing out of his 6-yard box was brave. Well, the right back Molina is getting forward in some really good positions now, and just a little deft flick into the path of Lionel Messi. Vizinha read it and was able to keep it at 0-0.
Yeah, just a concentration error there by Cabral, the right back, the left back. He just switched off, straightforward ball over his head. Was just enough to catch him out, and the goalkeeper's taken the strikers on occasion, 2 occasions now, and he's got to be careful. They'll read it the third time, I can assure you.
Yeah, he's just croifed his way past Lautaro Martinez, and he's been able to get Cape Verde on the front foot here with Sidney Cabral coming in off the left flank. Now towards Duarte, Moreira, the right back finding himself in the central midfield for a moment. McAllister is able to pick it up, and he will work it out towards the left-hand side. Real Mendes just dropped in at right back after Moreira had gone wandering. They've got their shape back to the more tried and tested 4-1-4-1, although when they haven't got the ball, Mendes sits really deep on the right-hand side, and it is often more like a back five.
Just looking at the fullbacks of Argentina, you rightly said there, both of them are pushing so high, aren't they, and just leaving the build-up to 2 central defenders and McAllister.
There's Messi flicking it to his left. Out he goes to Medina. Ball inside the penalty area, easily blocked. Kevin Pina is going to be able to bring this away here. No challenge coming in on him. Time to pick his pass. Molina, the right back, follows him into central midfield. So the Argentinians have just lost their shape for a moment. The ball dropping back in at right back. And he's still got the ball with Giovanni Cabral. The former Sporting Lisbon man runs a long way round the midfield to work it out towards Sidney Cabral. Sidney Cabral, the fullback of Benfica. Slipping it through to Roy Duarte. Now to Kevin Pina. Roy Duarte again. Pico to Borges. He said the halves exchanging passes again. Pico, who's in possession, you may well be aware, but he's given his international call-up through LinkedIn. Thomas Tuchel's listening. I have got a profile, just in case he needs a right back.
And we were faxed in our days. No, hang on, they weren't invented either. Sorry.
Carrier pigeons go for you. Absolutely. He used to send them from Lancaster Gate down to your house.
A white dove landing on your doorstep. I'm just looking at Argentina. The one plus Cape Verde have got is Argentina are not pressing them aggressively out of possession, and they can get a feel of the ball, set the tempo of the game, and this is a real plus for Cape Verde.
Pico's got it again. 350 Shamrock Rovers games behind him, having featured in nearly half as many for Bohemians earlier in his career. He's played it down to the Cape Verde left. It's a team full of extraordinary stories, but have they got another extraordinary performance and result in them? First quarter of this game suggests that they're not phased at all on the level of opposition they're playing. It's just given away there by Pico as he tried to roll the ball forward into the run of Moreira and missed him, and then Messi very nearly turned away from Borges. Messi will be able to turn on the edge of the penalty area, but Kevin Pina came back and flicked it away from him and will be able to drive it forward into the feet of Nuno da Costa. Was he fouled? Referee says no, and Kevin Pina then wins it back in the midfield. And here come Cape Verde into Argentinian territory, where they haven't had a decent touch of the ball for a good 5-6 minutes or so. Moreira now out towards Mendes and back again. Rian Mendes has it once more. Happy to go all the way back for Pico. Midway through the first half, a hydration break incoming. It's 0-0 here on Talk Sport. The day that Egypt have beaten Australia on penalties, and the winners of that will play the winners of this. So Egypt waiting for either Argentina or Cape Verde in Atlanta on Tuesday. Argentinians have it again with Enzo Fernandez. Turn back towards Romero. Sense that Lino Scaloni's men are playing well within themselves at the moment. Comes down towards Messi, right in front of Batista, the DM head coach. Messi making his way forward, drops his shoulder, side puts the ball down the right-hand touchline. Molina running after it. It's mopped up though by the dark blue shirts in the Cape Verde defence. De Roy Duarte back towards Borges. Borges turning away from Messi, under pressure, gets it forward towards halfway. Nuno da Costa backing into Romero. No foul given either way. And Argentina emerge with Lisandro Martinez on the ball.
Yeah, Romero, as we've seen many times in the Premier League, likes to get really tight, touch tight with his man. Sometimes looks very impressive, other times he gets caught out. Cape Verde will be hoping that it's the latter.
Here's the Paul, swinging the ball inside the penalty area that is headed away. He goes out to play for a throw. That should be the hydration break with 24 minutes gone at 0-0, and is. And the two coaches will get their two teams over to them. And Lionel Scaloni might just be expecting a little bit more tempo from Argentina. As I mentioned, they have played well within themselves so far. So let me reiterate the latest on today's big breaking story, which concerns exactly when England's match at the Azteca against Mexico is going to kick off. Of course, you'll be well aware, scheduled for 1 a.m. Monday morning, Sunday going into Monday. But plenty of speculation doing the rounds early that he was going to be brought forward by 6 hours due to the threat of thunderstorms and horrendous weather incoming in Mexico City on Sunday. Now, we were led to believe that that was the case and that decision had all been taken and had been all but rubber stamped. We were also led to believe that both football associations were livid at the way that the decision had been reached. Now we understand that FIFA are expected to make a final call on the kickoff time within the next 2 hours or so. That plan that's been put in place will force an angry backlash from both teams, and TalkSport understands that FIFA could be set to U-turn and revert to the original kickoff time of 1 a.m. Monday morning UK time, which is 6 o'clock p.m. local time in Mexico City. The forecast that we have that the worst of the weather will have passed by that stage. We will keep you updated as soon as we know anything concrete. But as of now, we're still unclear when England's game against Mexico will kick off. One thing we can tell you, it will be live here on Talk Sport. This one here at the Hard Rock, 0-0 between Argentina and Cape Verde. 3 attempts so far, 2 of them for Argentina. Not a lot to worry. Cape Verde with 1 messy set piece easily saved. And they'll be thrilled with the start that they've made here, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, they certainly will. I think playing a part in the good start that they had is the fact of Argentina look as though they don't want to do the dogged pressing to turn the ball over quickly. I think it's probably slightly a different mentality maybe from, I'm just trying to equate it, if this was an England team there would be frustration from the terraces now. There is absolutely none of that from the Argentinian supporters. They're just quite happy waiting for the opportunity, and also the Argentine side seem to be of a same mentality as well, not really pressing for this first goal, this breakthrough. They're just quite happy, thinking to themselves, look, it'll happen, just give it time.
So 0-0. Now we'll resume with an Argentinian throw on the right flank. Molina's going to take it. Lautaro Martinez making his way towards the ball. He scored his first ever World Cup goal at the 9th attempt in the last game against Jordan. 3-1 win. Argentina beating Algeria 3-0 and Austria 2-0 before that. Messi getting all 5 of those goals. Argentinians bring it forward again to Medina. Back to Lisandro Martinez, who's suffered with a real injury-hit season at Manchester United. Lisandro taking a couple of touches. Knocks it to Romero. Forward from Romero down to Noel Molina, the Atletico Madrid man, whose manager Diego Simeone is here today, hoping that his son Giuliano is going to get an opportunity off the bench. Here, the ball in towards Messi. Oh! How on earth has he squeezed that in? That is why they don't panic, because they've got the best player the world has ever seen in a position to make the most of what is not even a half chance. Long ball lashed over the top. The smallest man on the pitch had to stretch to reach it, and then having taken a touch, he's fired it from a tight angle into the roof of the net. He's done it yet again. 8 successive games in the World Cup with a goal. No one has ever managed that before. He's the first player ever to reach 20 in this magnificent competition. Milestones that he's reached with another sensational, almost inconceivable goal. He is the magic man. He is the best we've ever seen. And he has done it once more to give Argentina the lead in the World Cup.
Well, the hydration break has done it again. It's concentration, and all of a sudden that lapse of concentration. Borges has not seen the spin from Messi. He's just wheeled him behind really quickly. His control, Jim, on the outside of the left foot is magnificent. He put the ball where he wanted and then just relaxed for a moment and lifted it into the roof of the net. Some player.
The only team to have stopped him scoring since the start of the last World Cup was Poland. And he's ahead in the Golden Boot race again. 7 now in 4 games in this tournament. 20 in 30 World Cup ties. The only player ever to score in every round of a single World Cup. He's now the only player ever to score in every round of the World Cup at every format. And he scored in 5 successive knockout ties now, only the 3rd man ever to do that, and the 1st for more than 60 years. He is an utter phenomenon. He's worshipped by those in light blue and white who are singing his name again after the 124th international goal of his career. It's 1-0 Argentina. And Cape Verde have it all to do.
Yeah, they do. As I say, they come out the hydration break and it's just a lapse of concentration. Messi's a pass master. You can see his mind ticking over now. He's seeing pictures of his teammates on the ball and he thinks, where's the space? And he just walks in, or he stands and doesn't move. He's scanning all the time. What's around him? Where's the space? 3 passes ahead of anyone on this pitch. And I include probably both jerseys in that statement.
20 goals in the World Cup for Messi, and Mbappe next in the list with 18. Miroslav Klose, who was the all-time record holder just 3-4 weeks ago. Third on the list now with 16. Giovanni Cabral bringing the ball forward for Cape Verde as they look for a response. He's won a free kick. They have come from behind once in this tournament already. They led and then trailed against Uruguay and hit back to equalise. Took that game to 2-2. But against Argentina, it is a completely different task. Sidney Cabral for the Verdeans, coming in off the left flank. Clipped in right-footed, he's overhit out of Emi Martinez, and hasn't had a shot on target to save as yet. Watches it drift over his left shoulder and wide. 1-0 to Argentina. Messi on 29. You were talk sport.
Yeah, as I say, Argentina, the levels of patience in their play is quite incredible. They really are patient, pretty slow in the build-up. There's a sort of inner confidence you get to feel about this team, but then again, that comes with being world champions, I suppose, Jim.
Romero gets the ball forward as he heads it down. On the stretch, Enzo Fernandez did really well in the midfield because the headed pass that Messi supplied him, probably as good as Messi could have managed in the situation he found himself in. Fernandez did really well to make something constructive of it, and now Messi's got the ball at his feet. He plays another obliquely angled left-footed pass forward for Rodrigo to pull. Messi now to Lisandro Martinez, coming out of the centre circle. Away to the left flank. Medina, I beg your pardon, makes his way in. Messi has it out to the right. Molina, Messi making his way into the middle. It comes out to the edge of the penalty area. Messi trying a little 1-2 that didn't come off with Almada. Cape Verde can bring it away with a touch from Nuno da Costa. Gets it again in the heart of the midfield, and the retreating covering from Medina was excellent. Found himself out of position for a moment, but the left back in central midfield just dropped in, stuck his foot in, knocked it away from Nuno da Costa, and Argentina will bring it forward again. Messi's got 7 goals in this tournament, Stu. He's only had 11 shots.
And you can see why, to be fair. I mean, his first touch set everything up, and then the composure just to set himself to lift the ball into the roof of the net was magnificent. A lot of people would have got the control wrong, or snatched at the shot, or delayed to allow the defender to get back and get a tackle on him. Not Messi.
Much like yourself, he just gets better and better as he gets older. 9 days past his 39th birthday now, and it feels as though this is bound to be his last World Cup, and in another way it feels as though it's bound not to be.
Well, he just goes on and on and on, doesn't he? You know, and there's mobility when he needs it. You know, he conserves energy, but all of a sudden, when he sees space or a little darting run, woof, off he goes.
There's Borges, the centre-half, with the ball at his feet, a difficult one to control from a throw, but he gets it away. Couldn't play a constructive ball forward. And Argentina have it at the back. They've only lost 3 of the last 56 games in which they've scored the first goal in the World Cup. The last defeat that they had in the World Cup was actually one such game. They took the lead against Saudi Arabia and ended up losing it, but that's the last World Cup match that they have lost. They had 4 defeats since they won the last World Cup, the most recent of which was back in September against Ecuador. Too many signs that they're going to be losing this one. Lead 1-0, they're in complete control after what felt like they were playing within themselves in the first 25 minutes or so, and it's taken them a little bit of time to warm to their task on this stiflingly sultry Miami evening. Now they work the ball forward out to the right. It looks as though there should be an offside flag comes up. It does now from Michael Barvagan, the assistant referee. And Molina had just been caught on his heels, having got himself back on. And it's a free kick to Cape Verde in their left-back position. 10 to go to half-time. With TalkSport, Argentina leading Cape Verde by a goal to nil. And looking set to be playing Egypt on Tuesday in the next round.
Yeah, as I say, the route onwards into the final for Argentina doesn't look too bad on paper. It might be England or Brazil in a semi-final potentially.
Quarter-final, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, so no, you're right. My apologies to you, the semi-final. Right?
Yeah, or Mexico. Up until then, on paper, it looks quite reasonable, doesn't it, for the Argentinians?
Yep, absolutely. Cape Verde have got possession in the right-back area. It goes back out of the touchline. The play forward again by Jeroy Duarte and chased gamely by Muro da Costa. It's just only taken a touch and gone out of play. And it's a throw that Cape Verde will take. A lack of possession hasn't been a problem in games at this World Cup so far. Cape Verde, a case in point. They only had 25% of the ball in their match with Spain and didn't lose that game. In fact, only 3 of the 10 teams with the lowest possession in a match at this World Cup, so that's 28% or less, have actually lost the game. Only one of the 7 that have defied the odds, if you look at it that way. Not really seeing too much of it here. A little bit more than they did in that match against Spain. Herrera bringing it forward, right-hand side of the penalty area, snatches it across. Rare opportunity to get in the Argentinian box, and he's not made the most of it. And it just drifts away innocuously over Martinez's bar. Out of play for a goal kick. It'll be taken with 7 minutes to go here on TalkSport in Miami in the first half. And Lionel Messi's done it again. It's 1-0 Argentina. Yeah,
Cape Verde have probably just let themselves down in this latter stages of this half, just by when they have got the ball into the Argentinian half. It's just run aground too easily, and they've not threatened Argentina as I was fully expecting they might do on the odd occasion.
Here's Molina. Controlling the ball a little bit awkwardly on the right-hand touchline, and in fact by the time it came off his chest and he'd then been able to salvage that poor first touch, it had just rolled over the line and out for a throw to Cape Verde. Sidney Cabral will take it. Ball thrown back to Borges, the centre-half. This is club football in the United Arab Emirates. Ball from him to Kevin Pina, who scored Cape Verde's historic first World Cup goal in that game against Uruguay. Ball from him to Laros Duarte. Now between the lines for Roy Duarte. Mendes. Taking a couple of touches off the right flank. Herrera inside, but he's worked it back instead. Laros Duarte taking a touch, running into trouble in the form of McAllister, who toe pokes the ball away, but he can't get possession back. It's Giovanni Cabral, looks as though he's thinking about shooting from 40 yards. He's playing a brilliant ball instead. Right foot across the penalty area, and he's brought down now by Sidney Cabral. Cabral outside the penalty area. Ria Mendes fires across in, and that's knocked away by Medina, but that was far and away the most adventurous piece of attacking play we've seen from Cape Verde, with a beautiful angle pass through for the run from the right back.
Yeah, it certainly was. That was the best piece of play to set up the opportunity just inside the box in a good crossing area, and he just overhit the pass. It's that little bit of quality, Jim, that they needed right at the end of that passing succession.
Yeah, better ball in from Steven Moreira, who plays his club football here in the United States of Columbus Crew. Might have been able to fashion an equaliser. As it is, it remains 1-0, and Romero has the ball at the back. Messi, incidentally, with the goal that he scored, has become the oldest South American player to score a goal in the knockout stages of the World Cup, beating a record that was set by a Uruguayan, whose name I can't remember, and no disrespect, I don't think it will really mean anything to any of us, but it was 72 years ago. Ball will be played for. Messi's won it back again for Argentina, and Sidney Cabral trying to bring the ball away. It goes out to the left-hand side of midfield. Back for Alexis McAllister. He's in the central area, 20 yards outside the penalty area. Now comes Molina playing it back. McAllister showing for it. Molina again. Now towards Romero. Romero is 15 yards inside the Cape Verde half. His left-hand side is Lisandro Martinez. We've got 5 minutes to go to half-time. More at half-time on the continued situation with the potential change in kick-off time for the England-Mexico game. It looked as though it was set in stone and now isn't again. And we'll bring you more on that developing story at half-time in this game, which is probably 7 or 8 minutes away. Ball played for, the offside flag is up against Messi, which is a collector's item, and it's a free kick to Cape Verde on the edge of their penalty area. Messi with another brilliant goal. It was the first touch that made it. The finish wasn't bad either, and Argentina leading Cape Verde 1-0.
Yeah, just going back to Messi there, he's got the ability as Pelé had, probably my first memory of a player, the ability to do the simple easily.
Giovanni Cabral bringing the ball forward is a magnificent turn to get away from Molina. That's certainly one for his personal highlights reel. But it all fizzles out very quickly. It's an Argentina free kick outside the box. Yeah, there's never any margin for error necessary, is there? Because everything from scintillating downwards he can do without even thinking about it.
Yeah, he'll literally, if he's in a tight area, he'll just roll a little gentle 10-yard ball to a teammate, and then all of a sudden he comes to life and can go past 2 or 3 people. But he picks his moments perfectly.
And the point that you made on the podcast, the TalkSport Daily, which dropped this morning, that you, Adrian, and I chewing the fat last night, the point that you made about Messi, the eye test, is absolutely correct. He's just a wonderful player to watch, and the comparison in numbers between he and Cristiano Ronaldo can be read any number of ways. He's just won another free kick here, but if you could only pay to watch one of the two, I think a lot of people would pay to watch Messi rather than Ronaldo, just the very nature of the way that he plays, which is not to denigrate the goals that Ronaldo scores, but it's just something about Lionel Messi.
Yeah, as I say, I think he's slightly easier on the eye. Just got the ability, low centre of gravity, finds a great pass, and listen, all the great players can finish. That's why they got the goals tallies to the name they have.
Lautaro Martinez has found Vizinha, Cape Verde goalkeeper, back on his feet. Free kick worked out of the right and then fired down the touchline straight out of play. And it's a throw in Argentina's left back position. Their last World Cup elimination at the hands of France in the round of 16 back in 2018. 8 years on, they look destined to be playing Egypt in the round of 16 in Atlanta on Tuesday. Don't forget, England's round of 16 tie at the Azteca. Kick-off time still unknown. We'll talk about it at half-time. Is it going to be 7 p.m. Sunday night your time? Is it going to be 1 a.m. Monday morning your time? More details to come to a huge story with a potential change of the World Cup schedule. Maybe being enforced by FIFA because of the weather, but it's gone down badly with both FAs. More to come at half-time in this game. Argentinian supporters, almost to a woman and man in their blue and white striped shirts, bobbing up and down with our beloved heroes in possession here, with a minute to go to half-time, plus at least 3 to be added. And Christian Romero has the ball at his feet. He's worked it forward here for Alexis McAllister, very nearly to Lautaro Martinez. Shot comes in, Vizinha dives away to his left, and he's able to make the save. It's well struck by Almada, and the loose ball is picked up now by Messi. Messi near the edge of the penalty area. Another little flick from him. So much of what he does almost looks disdainful and permeated by disinterest, and yet it could be further from the truth.
Verde got to make sure they don't concede a goal before half-time. I think it's all over if that is the case. It's just a game of concentration. Stay with your men, especially if he's a little fella with number 10 on his back.
Picking up the one with number 10 on their back is a difficult thing to do here at the Hard Rock Stadium because there are probably 60,000 of them. Here's Messi. In right-hand side of the area, long ball over the top of Borges, cleared him and Lionel Messi, and goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken away to our right-hand side. We're in 4 minutes of added time at the end of this first half, with Argentina well on top at 1-0.
I've got to say, that was a similar ball from Martinez there, over the top of Borges, and on that occasion it was just slightly too far from Messi, near enough an identical build-up to the goal.
Enzo Fernandez, who's tested Vizinha, getting the ball into feet, plays it back away from Maria Mendes. Romero able to build from the back here for Argentina. There's no pressure coming on him, and so he could side-foot it forward easily here for Messi. Down for De Paul. Messi makes his way towards the edge of the D. Passes exchange between Molina and Rodrigo De Paul. De Paul's such an important cog in this Argentina machine as well. There's so much to create the space for Messi and give him the free roll that he craves. He's got it here again, the little Supremo worked forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Cape Verde knock it away. Comes into the edge of the box again. Messi trying to drag it with him, but it's knocked away. Forward towards Cabral. Cape Verde lose out in the centre of midfield. Deflected ball forward. Cannons off the back of Lautaro Martinez as he tries to drive forward. And then second touch is a foul as he catches Cabral, and it's a free kick to Cape Verde, about 10 yards outside their box. It's 1-0 to Argentina with a couple of minutes to go to half-time.
Yeah, I think Cape Verde are eroding their own confidence, Jim, with their lack of ability on the ball. A little stumble here and there, loose pass. It's just, you can see it in their body language, just eroding what they're attempting to achieve, which is dangerous against this Argentinian side that will hurt you. But at the moment, they've done enough to get their nose in front, and physically they're going to go through to the next round having not broken sweat almost.
Here's Roy Duarte. Aerial crossfield pass from him, brought down by Pico Lopez. Shamrock Rovers player working it out to the Cape Verde right. Going to be chased by Laros Duarte down towards the corner flag, but Argentina are able to double up on any attacking player with ease, seemingly, and they can knock it away. Nice touch from Enzo Fernandez in the midfield. He gets the return ball and then fires it down to the Celeste right-hand side for De Paul. Back from him to Enzo. Messi has it. Still at walking pace. Doesn't need a break sweat. Almost impossible not to in these sultry meteorological conditions, though, but the worst of the weather long since past now. No danger, I wouldn't think, of being subsequent lightning strikes which will delay the conclusion of this game in a timely manner.
I've got to say, I don't think McAllister's actually got out of a walk at the moment. He's just there, he's bouncing the ball off of people, strolling round. Interesting to see his stats for this game. Absolutely, he stood on the ball, walking pace once again.
Yep. Splits it off to his right-hand side for Romero. Closing seconds of the first half. Romero for Lisandro Martinez. Martinez watching the clock on the big screen. And slows things down to a standstill, just ready for Nuno da Costa to come and engage. Argentina declaring with a half-time lead of 1-0. Romero gets the last touch of the first half. Lionel Messi, unsurprisingly, with the most important touch of the first half. A quite magnificent finish. Goal out of nothing. Ball chipped over the top. And the greatest man that's ever played the game does what he does. Argentina leading at half-time by a goal to nil here on TalkSport. Adrian, thank you. And it will be Argentina who will get the second half underway in their familiar light blue and white striped shirts. Cape Verde in their very dark blue and even darker shorts. No changes made by either team at this juncture. Argentina, Emi Martinez in goal, Molina, Romero, Lisandro Martinez and Medina, De Paul, McAllister, Fernandez and Almada, Lautaro Martinez alongside Messi up front, and for Cape Verde, Vizinha in goal, and then Moreira, Pico, Borges and Sidney Cabral. Kevin Pina anchoring the midfield. Mendes The two Duartes and Giovanni Cabral, and then Nuno da Costa is up front. Argentina with Lisandro Martinez in possession, finds Romero, out of the right for Molina, and back for Romero's put under a little bit of pressure from the striker Nuno da Costa, and Argentina as a result of that forced to go all the way back towards Emi Martinez. 1-0 to La Albiceleste, and Stuart Pearce is watching the game with us.
Yeah, just watching Messi when he come off the pitch earlier, just talking to Borges, looked as though he was not happy about the odd challenge coming in, nor were the managerial bench of Argentina on occasion. It just makes you wonder if they do get a second or third goal, whether they'll take Messi off to look after him. But from Verde's point of view, they cannot keep going on like this. They've got to change something, because otherwise they're going to go home. So if you're going to go home, you're better off going home having a good fight about it.
I'll come back on that point in a moment as Almada knocks the ball infield for Argentina. Romero is inside the centre circle. Gets it forward for Rodrigo de Paul. Out on the right hand side, Messi linking up the play again. Almada is being detailed by Kevin Pina. Plays the ball back and it's just gone out of play for a throw on the Cape Verde left. Do you think part of Babista's game plan, the Cape Verde coach, will be to try and keep things as they are until maybe 20 minutes from time? That he can't go too open too quickly, that all he can do really is hope that this stays 0-1 until maybe 70-75 minutes and then they have a go?
Well, there is that, but the other side of it as well, Argentina are playing at a walking pace now because it suits them. They're in front, it doesn't really matter, they're in full control of the game. Cape Verde have got to try and up the tempo of their play, because they've dropped into the same sort of tempo as Argentina.
Giovanni Cabral has released Moreira here. Ball inside the penalty area. It's a heavy touch from Nuno da Costa, and Argentina are able to get it away. It was a more promising move. The best move that we saw in the first half was another ball like that from Cabral for a run from the overlapping Moreira down the right hand side. They haven't been able to get the final ball right when they've got themselves into that position on a couple of occasions. Now with Sidney Cabral, they'll make their way forward, and they won their first corner here, which comes 3 minutes into the second half on TalkSport. First corner of the day, Stuart.
Yeah, see, that's better. They've got the ball into that far corner flag area, but something's come of it. They've got a corner out of it. Prior to that, on a couple of occasions, they've got promising situations, and literally nothing's come of it.
Argentina have left two up top, Messi and Lautaro Martinez, as the corner comes in, swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Hugo Lopez was up there attacking it, right-footed effort, then clears the bar, and has taken a deflection from Cabral's effort. Now for another corner. I think he was rising over the bar anyway, but the little nick helped it, and it's out for another corner, this one on the Cape Verde right. 1-0 Argentina.
Yeah, I think if Argentina were going to leave two up, I'm not so sure they're going to do that now, just Messi. If they leave two up, you're better off going and playing a short one, which causes more problems for the defensive lineup.
Absolutely no one showing for a short one on this occasion though. And Sidney Cabral will take it. It's a right-footed away swinger, plenty of air underneath it. Cape Verde headed the far post, actually took it away from goal, and one of the players is down injured, lying on his back. Another shot comes in from fully 35 yards out, and that was extraordinarily optimistic from Rian Mendes. It's put it straight into the Argentina supporters. Meanwhile, the stricken Cape Verde player is going to be able to get some treatment. There is Giovanni Cabral, and he climbed to meet the ball, which was in the air, and he was given a push on his way through, and he went over the top of one of his teammates and then landed awkwardly, and there might have been a clash of heads as well. Apart from that, he came out of it unscathed. He's okay, he's back on his feet and able to continue.
I've got to say, he got some height on that leap up. Probably only his teammate that caused him an issue.
And he's done all right, the number 7. You'd say he's much the brightest of their players. You can tell that he's one that has played at a high level. The only player who's currently a squad member of one of Europe's top 5 divisions is Logan Costa, who plays his club football for Villarreal. He's a centre-half, but he's had a ruptured ACL and is barely fit. He's only made a couple of appearances in club football this season. He's waiting on the bench. Everybody else playing the length and breadth of Europe, in the Turkish second division, in the Portuguese second division, in Russia, in Ireland, in the Emirates, in Bulgaria, and they are really dotted around the globe. Here's Alexis McAllister, whose heat map looks like a London Underground sign at the moment. Ball played forward into the feet of Enzo Fernandez in the midfield. It's going to be knocked away easily. Comes back down for Roy Duarte. And in dark blue, bring it forward. Take Verde into Argentinian territory, but they've still got 9 between them and goal. Here's Sidney Cabral. Back from him to Roy Duarte. Giovanni Cabral. A little bit deeper as he picks this up. Back from him to Borges. Out for Sidney Cabral once more. Argentina just backing off, letting them have easy possession. Then when it does come forward, Romero gobbles up the through ball and it's easily knocked away. Lautaro Martinez now with his back to the direction the play's able to turn and feed the figure of Rodrigo de Paul over on the right-hand side. Argentina go all the way back for Emi Martinez again, who's only conceded once in 3.5 games in this tournament so far, only conceded 8 in nearly 11 World Cup ties in his career. Messi, dropping deep, trying to alleviate the boredom, and then, oh, what a ball that is over the top, and it's just too long for Molina. When he picked it up, almost in a quarterback position, and he's angled one, left-footed, right over the top of the Cape Verde back line. Molina just broke his stride. Had he not done so, he'd have been able to bring that under perfect control. There was a peach of a pass from 70 yards.
Yeah, I think what they needed, Jim, was Messi to play the pass and Messi to receive the pass for it to end up in the back of the net. It was a super ball. Once again, it was that ball between and over the top of Borges and Cabral.
Just a magnificent piece of play. Make no apologies for eulogising about the 39-year-old. All clear by Alessandro Martinez and put out a play for a throw on the Cape Verde left. This is an Argentinian team that have won 45 of the last 55 games. They'll be extending that run further, you would imagine. There'll be 11 straight wins. Went to the last World Cup on the back of an extraordinary unbeaten streak that was 30-odd. Verde bring the ball forward again. It might break into the air. Duarte deflected and Martinez had to be down swiftly that time. Well struck by Roy Duarte, and he took a little nick off McAllister. McAllister very grateful to see Emi Martinez behind him, diving down to his left and clutching that into his body.
Yeah, best opportunity of the game for Cape Verde, but it come from a miscontrol in the box, I've got to say, that's ended up bouncing to the edge of the box, and a good strike. Martinez, so there's a lot of traffic in front of him. He's gone through legs and he's dealt with it well.
Man who's won a World Cup and a couple of Copa Americas, won the Europa League with Aston Villa this season. Won 250 games now for the Villa. Hoping for back-to-back World Cups. As I mentioned earlier, it's only ever been done twice. The teams to do it, Italy, who won it in 34 and retained in 38, and then Brazil, Pele's first 2 World Cups, won it in 58 and retained it in 62, but nobody has been able to retain the World Cup since the early 1960s. France came close last time out. Maybe France that are best place to stop Argentina doing it this time. And England will still fancy their chances, amongst others, of course. The England, Mexico, all Brazil, you would imagine, will be facing Argentina in a mouth-watering semi-final. Egypt for them next if they get through this. Here's Alexis McAllister getting it forward again, coming towards the edge of the penalty area. De Paul round a couple of challenges, can't beat a third. Messi mopping up on the edge of the penalty area. Enzo Fernandez getting it back from a crisp ball from Molina. Now onto his right foot, but he can't get the shot in. Into Messi, he can't turn on the edge of the box. Clearance hits De Paul. Borges, panic-stricken, tries to get it away. Duarte calms down, back to his goalkeeper, and Brazil wanted 3 touches. He barely had time for the second, let alone the third. In the end, all he could do was chip it straight out of play for a throw. It's 1-0 Argentina.
I think Pazinha had it on his mind to cut one back again and take a player on, but the sad thing is for him was Messi was bearing down on him, and Messi's seen him do it twice before, and you can't do that to an intelligent player. He reads it.
Once, twice, 3 times a nightmare. There's Kevin Pina. He's knocked it square to his right-hand side. Duarte to Kevin Pina again. Giovanni Cabral on the left. Back for Sidney Cabral. A little bit more possession for Cape Verde in the second half than they had in the first. As Pico comes forward now. Hits it briskly down to his right from Moreira. Moreira's tackled himself with his poor controls. He tried to get away from the pressure of Medina. No foul on the Argentinian left back as Verde win it back again. And it's to Roy Duarte. Plays it back for Kevin Pina and then in turn to Borges. Borges square for Pico. Pico 10 yards inside the Argentinian half, rolls it down the line. He's expecting Nuno da Costa to make a run. There's an immediate post-mortem between the pair of them. The ball has drifted out of play in front of the mass ranks of Argentinian supporters away to our right-hand side. As we're approaching the hour mark here, live in Miami. And it's still Argentina 1, Cape Verde 0, and precious few signs of there being any problem for the Argentinians here.
No, they're more than comfortable. They're at walking pace at the moment, conserving energy. And what we need in this game is a goal from absolutely nowhere from Cape Verde. But to do that, they've got to find a pass, have more quality going forward, and raise the tempo of what they're trying to achieve. Certainly on the counter-attack.
Only defeat they've had in the last 13 games was a 4-2 loss to Chile in New Zealand back in March. They work the ball forward here, and whilst Duarte is fouled.
Romero stepping out the back line there, taking a chance. Always an opportunity, just a good feat, I've got to say. Probably worthy of a booking, I'd say, referee.
That's Drew Fisher from Canada, who's taking charge today, and it has not been the most arduous of appointments for him. He's had very little to do, very few difficult decisions to make. On that occasion, Romero just stuck out a left foot. He knew what he was doing. A little flick from the edge of the penalty area from Cape Verde very nearly came off with Nuno da Costa waiting. Argentina have been able to play their way out of trouble. Messi gives it away by clipping it forward into space. Laris Duarte winning it back. Here they come with Kevin Pina. Slip forward out of the right-hand side from Nuno da Costa. Chance from Moreira. Moreira into Mendes and back again. So, sign of life on the Cape Verde bench. They tend to make a change right bang on the hour mark, and a double change is imminent. Duarte slipping into his right after slightly heavy first touch, denied him the chance to get a shot in. Argentina work it forward. Pico chests it down confidently and then gets it forward again, and it's Moreira out towards Mendes. He's got 4 in the penalty area. He's found one of them. Oh, it's in! An extraordinary moment. Roy Duarte has equalised for Cape Verde. It is 1-1. Slipped inside the penalty area. The angle was tight, and he drove it low and hard across the face of Emi Martinez, and he has just scored one of the most famous World Cup goals of the 21st century. The holders Argentina pegged back by a Cape Verdean side, ranked outside the top 60 in the world. Roy Duarte, the man whose name is on everybody's lips in the world of football. Argentina won, Cape Verde won. They barely broke in sweat. They are sweating now.
Well, they've ended up, Argentina playing at such a low tempo, it almost encouraged Cape Verde to get on the front foot. They had 5 players in advance there. The first time they found a bit of quality, if truth be known, in the final third. A great ball through the legs. And then from there, what a finish at a fairly tight angle as well, through the legs, past Martinez before he could react. And I tell you what, Argentina all of a sudden have got to raise the tempo if they want to win this game.
Well, they came back in the second half against Uruguay. They trailed 2-1 at half-time and equalised. And now they've come back from 1-0 down at half-time to equalise against Argentina. Duarte. Argentina are going to make a couple of changes. On the back of that, we're going to see Julian Alvarez and Nico Gonzalez. Alvarez, who scored 4 goals in the last World Cup, including 2 against Croatia in the semi-final. Now Nico Gonzalez, who's come off the bench in a couple of the games so far. So a double change imminent for Argentina, who led for half an hour, but with half an hour to go, it is now dead level again here in Miami Gardens. What a story this would be.
Jim, I think this is going to inspire some tempo in the game now, without a doubt. Cape Verde have got the lift of that goal and the equaliser, incredible. And Argentina playing at such a low pace, comfortable in the game, all of a sudden have been rocked. What a great game football, isn't it?
Just extraordinary. Argentina trying to bring it forward again. Messi takes a tumble inside the penalty area. The challenge on him was a legitimate one. He was outside the box anyway. A play forward now towards Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez's ball through the midfield hits Duarte, a former Dutch under-21 international. He's played 37 games for Cape Verde. That's his first goal for him. On the edge of the box. Cape Verde clear their lines. Kevin Pina with the ball away. Back it comes from Lisandro Martinez. I don't think anybody here expected that.
They certainly didn't. There was no build-up to it at all. The lack of quality and the lack of tempo from Cape Verde was their fault to say, and all of a sudden they did find a little bit of quality. But you know full well Argentina will react.
And will react now with Messi. Good save from the goalkeeper, Vizinha. And he's bundled away for a corner. They played him in. Messi making a great run. He was through one-on-one. Think he might have taken it with his right foot. He did. And the goalkeeper got behind it, made himself as big as possible. Vizinha with a big save. And it stays one apiece.
I've got to say, Borges all over the place there, not reading runs. Little flick round the corner. Messi's in. You put your house on him scoring, you really do. Great save.
Well, if they'd come onto his left and his right, he definitely would have scored. Argentina will make the double change. First player coming off is Almada, and Nico Gonzalez comes on to replace him, the Juventus left winger who's loaned to Atletico Madrid this season. And Julian Alvarez gets a massive ovation as he comes on for Lautaro Martinez. So 2 straight swaps within the Argentinian 4-4-2. This is their first corner. 63 gone. Swung in Vizinha, jogs it a little bit, but his handling was good enough. He brings the ball to the edge of his penalty area and bowls it out. 1-1. Lionel Messi sharing the score sheet with Duarte. And he's got the ball now. Now to his right-hand side for Kevin Pina. And all of a sudden, now with parity and less than half an hour to go, Cape Verde will be eyeing something very, very special. Because if they can keep things tight at the back, they might just have a puncher's chance of one of the biggest wins of them all. Giovanni Cabral going up, losing out to McAllister. Cabral has stayed down. McAllister in possession, works it to his right. The Canadian referee says play on, I'm sure correctly. Now it is played out towards Molina. Molina plays the ball back. Here's McAllister. This is worth staying up for, wasn't it? Messi getting it out of the left-hand side of the penalty area. Medina, Gonzalez. Link up again on the Argentinian left, right in front of us. There's by no means a hush around the stadium, but certainly 60,000 in the crowd have had a very sharp intake of breath with events over the last 5 minutes. Duarte's equalising goal after Messi's brilliance in the first half. 1-1 the score. And it goes to the Argentinian right. Space for McAllister in the heart of the midfield, and it's played back to him. He's clipped it for Gonzalez, the dark-haired winger, chesting it down, but away from Enzo Fernandez, and Cape Verde clear their lines. So they're going to be making a double change in a moment. And we're going to see the striker Livramento come on. And we're also going to see the central midfielder Jamiro Montero, who plays his club football in the Netherlands, as Volley. One apiece. Cape Verde finding an equaliser in dramatic circumstances. McAllister slipping the ball around the side of the Paul. Ball out of the right flank for Molina. That's played back to Lisandro Martinez again. Little give and go in the heart of the midfield with Julian Alvarez, who's dropped deep. Messi waiting, strolling towards the D, waiting for the moment to arrive for him to make that important darting run. Alvarez checked to play it into him. Messi thought about going, but then didn't. Argentina play the ball more conservatively, back out to the right and now through the centre halves. Now they look over the top. It's Nico Gonzalez chesting it down, and a hitch-kick right-footed effort goes wide from Enzo Fernandez, who claims the corner, hasn't got one. And he's going to go out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken after the double change for Cape Verde. So Laros Duarte to be replaced by Montero, and Nuno da Costa is going to be replaced by Livramento, who started against Spain and Saudi Arabia. He came off after an hour in each of those games. A striker who's only scored one league goal over the last 2 seasons. But he comes on here with the 25 minutes of playing time to go. That's all that separates Cape Verde from taking Argentina to extra time.
Well, incredible really how this game's gone. It just goes to show you cannot, when you're 1-0 up in football, take your foot off the gas. And I think Argentina have probably paid the penalty. They were so comfortable in the game. They were playing at walking pace, and it's difficult for them, even at this moment in time, Jim, to lift the pace of the game that's needed.
Well, they've only had 6 shots in 67 minutes and 3/4 of the game. Cape Verde have had 5. Cape Verde restricted Uruguay to just 5 attempts in the game between those two. Here they come again, though, Argentina, with Messi, who's gone to ground, a little stumble, and a yellow card for Kevin Pina. He was the player that put him to the deck. This free kick in the central area, 14 yards outside the penalty area.
I tell you, where Cape Verde are being caught out is that ball over the top. The Messi goal was a great example of it. They've had 2 other instances as well, balls over the top of the back line. They've just not seen the runs, and apart from that, they've defended everything pretty well, Jim.
Well, work to do here. And a free kick that 3 Argentinians stand over it. Clearly Lionel Messi the overwhelming favourite. It is in the central area, so Rodrigo de Paul might also fancy his chances. But listen, if you've got one player standing over it who scored 124 goals for his country, and another player who's only scored 2, I know my money is on to have a crack from here.
I think the distance he's at, I wouldn't be surprised to be standing one up to one of the far posts for a blind post run. But
he's gone for goal in the end and hit a 3-man wall. It was Messi inevitably that took it. The spin on the ball as it came forward. Cape Verde head after it. Kind of approach that we saw in that game against Spain, where when they do commit to go, they have bodies sprinting upfield. They couldn't win the seconds in Argentinian territory. Now Lisandro Martinez is going to be able to help get them away from the edge of the centre circle. Down it comes for the Paul. 24 minutes gone in the second half here on TalkSport, where there could just be an extraordinary shock in the making. It's 1 apiece. I think the Argentinian supporters have got their head back round it again. But that equalising goal knocks some wind out of their sails for a moment. Defensive header from Moreira from the edge of his own penalty area. Argentina still overwhelming favourites to get the job done in 90 minutes, but we've almost reached the second hydration break dead level. Emi Martinez with the ball at his feet midway between the edge of the penalty area and the edge of the centre circle. Side-footed for Romero. Down towards Lisandro Martinez again. Forward he comes. To his left, Medina. Argentina knocking it square through the midfield. Enzo Fernandez bringing it on. Little reverse ball, gets it back to him. He's down by the dead ball line. Couldn't wrap his left foot around it to get a cross in, but he maintains possession and lays it back for Julian Alvarez. Alvarez immediately under pressure from Montero, the Cape Verde substitute. Right-footed ball clipped over the top from Romero, headed away by Borges. Got enough on it to guide it clear of Alvarez. Argentina pick it up in the midfield again, and then win another 50-50 challenge to bring it forward with Nico Gonzalez. Gonzalez back for Enzo Fernandez. Movement forward inside the penalty area for the fullback Medina, and that created space on the overlap. Ball played out towards Gonzalez. Back for Fernandez. Back across the horseshoe now to Christian Romero again, wearing 13 for his country. Down towards Lisandro Martinez. Out again for Nico Gonzalez. Fullback a little bit slow at getting out to him. The ball driven in towards the edge of the penalty area. Messi will take over, goes to ground, wins another free kick. 2 yards outside the box this time, left of centre.
And this really is in free kick takers country here. Probably favours the right foot more than the left, but Messi potentially going blindside. I'll tell you what, anyone goes near Messi, the referee straight away gives a free kick. I don't know whether that was or whether it wasn't. But it's in a very dangerous area. Literally a yard outside the box, just to the left-hand side, Jim. Yeah, blindside. Movement of the ball, move it, stop it and hit it before the goalie can react, or a right footer going open side.
So Cape Verde have lined up a four-man wall which protects the near post as we look at it, the left-hand post. Goalkeeper is on that post now, making sure that wall is in the right place. Argentina, a legitimate distance away, have put a three-man wall up, which will disperse immediately prior to the point of contact. Taken quickly. Oh, good save for Senior. Messi knew that he had permission for the referee to go when he wanted, and everybody was still waiting for the wall to be lined up, and he just stepped up and smacked it. That little three-man Argentinian wall broke, and he got it past him. Vizina, who was unsighted, produced a fine save to beat it away.
I'll tell you what, it was a top save as well. I mean, he's managed to scuttle across the goal, get two good hands to it and parry it away.
27 minutes gone in the second half, still no hydration break yet. In comes the corner, swung towards goal, and away past Gonzalez and out for a goal kick. And now the two managers will be able to speak to their troops. 73 on the clock, Argentina knocking on the door, but having conceded the equaliser, it is dead level at the cooling break in this second period here on TalkSport. Nobody saw this coming, Stuart. What a game we have now. In Argentina, palpably the better side in every single department. But Cape Verde, again, we weren't in any doubt of that coming into this, and they've shown it again. Had half a chance, they put it away, and now the foundations have been laid potentially for one of the all-time great World Cup shocks.
Well, Argentina got the goal in front, and from that moment on it was walking football. It really was, apart from the odd sort of break of high tempo, if you like, but didn't really put too much pressure on Cape Verde's goal. And Cape Verde were guilty of a lack of quality in the final third when they had the thin moments of opportunity that they had. Then all of a sudden they found a pass through a set of legs, a tight angle and a brilliant finish. And all of a sudden, as you rightly say, we go into the hydration break at the moment with the game all square, and you and I thought that was absolutely no chance, especially when Messi hit the goal early on.
Let me remind you what is coming up on TalkSport. Most importantly, from an England perspective, a game against Mexico in the round of 16 at the Azteca. Now back, as we understand it, at 1 a.m. Monday morning. So that's Sunday going into Monday, live on TalkSport. What you need to do, get rid of that summer duvet you've got and just lie there sweating, listening to the dulcet tones of Stuart Pearce talking you through an England game live from the Azteca with Adrian Durham, Stuart and myself, and our correspondent on All England Matters Faye Carruthers. That is 1 a.m. as we understand it Monday morning. Between now and then, tonight, Colombia meet Ghana. A dress rehearsal for your insomniac. They play for the right to meet Switzerland. They kick off at 2:30 tomorrow. It's the start of the last 16 on TalkSport. Co-host Canada taking on Morocco at 6, and then it's France, Paraguay at 10. So that's your Saturday. Sort that out. Canada, Morocco at 6, France, Paraguay at 10 tomorrow. Earlier today, Egypt knocked Australia out on penalties, and they will play the winners of this one, which almost certainly still will be Argentina. But they just had a little scare. Roy Duarte with the equalising goal. A moment that he will never forget, that his countrymen will never forget. Held Spain, but now they've scored and are holding Argentina the world champions. More changes are going to be made, and now that the hydration break has finished, and Cape Verde are going to be bringing Willy Semedo on. And Semedo, the Paris-born left winger who got 22 goals in Cypriot football this season. He started against the Saudis in their last game and came off after an hour, and he's going to be coming on in the next break and play. They will restart with a goal kick, which has been taken by Vizinha, swung over the halfway line. Verde winning the seconds and the thirds, and a little bit of space for Montero, who will come forward and ran into trouble, but was fouled by McAllister. It's a free kick 20 yards outside the penalty area here for Cape Verde, with 13 minutes plus stoppages to go at 1-1.
They say every picture tells a story, Jim. There was a minute to go on the hydration break, and every Argentinian player was back on the pitch, back in position, waiting for the game to start. Cape Verde all huddled around the manager, just taking their time. Now they've got an opportunity from this free kick,
which is at the very limit of range. But Montero amongst those there, so too Sidney Cabral. Well, you would imagine probably favour a right footer more than a left. Maybe not. It's probably actually central enough that it could be either. It's Kevin Pina that has spotted the ball down and looks favourite. It's going to be a long run up David Luiz style, and it wasn't worth the wait as it trickles innocuously 6 yards wide right along the deck.
I've got to say that was absolutely awful. Far too far out, just pulled it, missed the goal line, missed the 6 yard box, I think, Jim.
Yeah, just trying to hit it too hard, didn't it? And that kind of range, I think, got it all wrong. They've now conceded a free kick in Argentina's right back position. 12 minutes to go, 1-1 the score between Argentina and Cape Verde. Argentina, one of the 3 teams to win all 3 of their group games, along with Mexico and France. But 7 of their last 13 games in the knockout stages of the World Cup have gone to extra time. Is this one going to go the same way? Argentina are able to clear down this near touchline. Lisandro Martinez found himself in a spot of bother for a moment up against Livramento, but was able to play his way out. Alvarez with a nice touch finds Fernandez. Comes down to Medina. Another free kick is given away. Kevin Lee has got to be really careful because he's already on a yellow card, and Pina just been spoken to here by the referee. Okay, Verde still waiting for the opportunity to bring Willy Semedo on, which hasn't happened because I think that they've decided they want to make a double change. So we're going to see Varela come on at the same time as well. So that will be in the next break. 1-1 the scoreline here on TalkSport. Argentina pegged back after a moment of Messi brilliance in the first half. They work the ball through the penalty area here again. Albi Celeste. Okay, Verde can clear with Sidney Cabral, who has done a fine job. It's got better as the game has gone on. Here come the changes. And Willy Semedo is the first man on. He's going to replace the one-time Forest winger Rian Mendes. And the second change, Elio Varela, who scored the equaliser against Uruguay just moments after coming on, will replace Giovanni Cabral, who arguably has been the pick of the Cape Verde players. The number 7 has done well, but he's getting 10 minutes off here.
Yeah, Yeah, you've got to say the fallout from the Argentinian press, I would think, would be quite harsh if they don't get over the line here or go all the way to extra time and maybe even a penalty shootout. The way things are looking at the moment, I've got a feeling they'll make the breakthrough if they up the tempo. But at this moment, Jim, they're not really up in the tempo of the game, and Cape Verde are looking as strong as they have done.
Well, we're into the final 10, and I haven't met anybody in talking to supporters from both teams and talking to journalists as well who thought that this could possibly still be level with 10 minutes to go. Crowd here of just a shade under 64,500, another World Cup full house in Miami Gardens, and nearly all of them, certainly I would say 63.5 of the 64,500, desperate for Argentina to make something happen. Messi trying to do that, gets it out of the right hand side of the penalty area, and he's turned brilliantly just wide by Pico. I was convinced that he put that into his own net for an own goal, and somehow sliding in to stop the ball, finding the man in the far post, he's been able to divert it past the right hand post and out for a corner. He won't know how he's done that.
No, absolutely incredible block.
In comes the latest corner, swung in deep, headed down and boomed away from the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, magnificent setup by Argentina there, but incredible defensive work by Pico, who's just got back and just sliced at it, and it's gone past the post, fortunately for him. And in all honesty, sometimes when there's a sort of giant kill, if you like, I mean at 1-1 on 81 minutes, that's almost a giant kill, Jim. You would say that the underdogs played really well. I'm not sure Cape Verde have done that well. It's just Argentina have been so slow in the game after taking the lead.
There's Enzo Fernandez. And finding Rodrigo de Paul. Messi. There they bring it through the midfield, the Argentinians, down towards Nico Gonzalez. Another change in for them with Paredes getting ready for number 5. The Alexis McAllister, he replaces, he has it now, and played it to his right, back for Lisandro Martinez. Martinez venturing forward, particularly quickly, down to Nico Gonzalez. Good press comes from the Cape Verde substitute Montero. They've tried to play the ball over the top. Vizinha comes out, and Pico did well just to protect the run of the ball and stop it finding Nico Gonzalez, allowing Vizinha to come out and claim it. And he'll pick it up, and he's using the full 8 seconds here, but just gets it away before he gets on the wrong side of the Canadian referee. Long ball forward, flicked on by Livramento, brought down at the back by Argentina. They've just put the match momentum graphic up on the big screen here. There have been only 3 small peaks for Cape Verde. Everything else has been like the Himalayas for Argentina. All light blue. But they've not created a stack of chances with it. Still only had 9 attempts with 83 minutes play. They come forward again now. Messi still waiting in the D. It'll be worked out of the left-hand side. Gonzalez through the 6-yard box, and another important clearance. That one from the retreating Kevin Pina puts it behind for an Argentinian corner that Messi will come across the tape. 7 to go.
Yeah, we just got the changes being made here. The Paul, I think, coming off, Jim.
Yeah, the ball makes way. And Leandro Paredes on for him. Going on for the final half hour of the US World Cup final. In comes the corner. It's taken a couple of touches. Did it hit an arm there of Sidney Cabral? Argentinian fans thought it did. No real complaints from anybody on the field. One of those incidents the VAR is bound to look at, but no suggestion that they haven't already checked and cleared it. And then Cape Verde then win a subsequent free kick 15 yards away from the halfway line. Argentina now have 2 players down hurt. One of them, Medina, punching the ground in dismay in a manner that suggests he thinks he's got some kind of muscular strain that's going to rule him out.
Yeah, indeed it does. There's a couple of them down. We've got a cramp as well. In an Argentinian shirt, and that probably tells you everything at this moment in time. They're really dropping off the edge of a cliff, I think.
Well, Cape Verde ranked 67th in the world, the lowest ranked nation, since the ranking started in 1992 to reach the knockouts in their debut tournament. The lowest ranked side of all teams to reach the knockout stages since Russia back in 2018. You and I saw that first knockout game. They beat Spain on penalties in Moscow. Could this one potentially go to penalties as well? We couldn't rule it out at this stage, and they're still the overwhelming favourites, Argentina, but they are going to be forced to make the change here. Medina coming off, and Tagliafico comes on to replace him. And the fact that that has come so hot on the heels of the Paredes change, it's the third instance in the half that Argentina have made a change, and as a result they won't be able to make any more. It's 1-1 with 4.5 minutes to go. Okay, Verde will bring the ball forward again here. The ball inside the penalty area that is easily cleared. And it's a throw to the Verdeans, 10 yards from the corner flag.
I've got to say, Jim, when I jumped in the car to come to the game today, I was expecting to be wowed by the Argentinians and come away thinking this looks like a team that could go all the way to the final, but it's been anything but. They've got the goal, clever movement by Messi, and then we had a couple of other movements in behind the defence which have been a problem for Cape Verde, and apart from that they've played at walking pace. They really have.
Well, you've had your wow, but not the one that you anticipated. A moment of brilliance from Messi, we could have seen that coming. Very few would have predicted the equaliser or the overall underlying level of the Argentinian performance. They'll bring the ball forward now. Borges heads it away, chested down inside the penalty area, and McAllister's claiming a handball. He came onto that, chested it down, right footed shot went over the bar. He says it took a nick off a Cape Verde arm, but the decision is corner.
Well, I thought the referee gave a goal kick to start with, and then obviously got a mention in his ear or something of that nature. Romero can be a real threat at these corners.
Yeah, he's one of 6 in blue and white who wants to make a run. Referee Fisher wasn't happy with the physical treatment that was being dished out. Asked Messi to stop. Now he swings it in. Goalkeeper came out. Just about got something on it. He had defenders in front of him. Between them, they smuggled it clear. Goes back out to the Argentine right. 3 minutes to go. It's 1-1. Ball swept through the penalty area. Romero knew he was offside. He made no attempt to go for it. It is recycled by the Argentinians. Back for Julian Alvarez. Comes now down to Enzo Fernandez. Infield from Tagliafico. Alvarez working wide. A little bit of space over on the Argentinian right. Messi cutting inside. Wanted the return ball from McAllister. Gave him a filthy look when it didn't arrive. Cape Verde clear. 2 to go. Plus probably 5 to be added on. And that's all that's separating Cape Verde from taking the World Cup holders to extra time. Sandro Martinez flicking the ball full for Enzo Fernandez. An extraordinary story panning out here in Miami. Just how extraordinary will it be? Is it yet going to be a heroic failure? Or is it going to be one of the all-time great World Cup stories? One of those days that people will never, ever forget. It becomes synonymous with a shock in this tournament. Ball swung inside the area. Vizinha comes to meet it. Needed Pico to help him right in front of him. Another claim for a handball. It's gone out of play for a throw. But they'll look at this. And Argentina being told not to restart just yet. We're having a look at the replays. Messi clipped the ball inside the penalty area. It's definitely hit the left arm of Pico Lopez. Was that arm in a natural position? Did it flick off his chin onto his arm before it hit him?
Well, McAllister's headed it right in front of him, and I think he skimmed off his face onto his hand. But there's been a few decisions gone Argentina's way. This is going to be another one.
So your gut feeling is because it's taken a touch on its way through, it shouldn't be a penalty.
Well, and it isn't, and I think that's fair because. But I've got to say, what a wonderful ball in. Messi's gone out on the right hand side, just cutting in on his left foot. And McAllister, we've seen very often, he's underrated as a header of the ball.
Now they play a straight ball forward, and that's easily claimed by Vizinha. I totally agree, Stu, and I think that the fact that although every Argentinian player was trying to persuade the referee that it should be a penalty, there were no real complaints when it wasn't. Play resumed. I'm sure that is the right call. There's an inadvertent touch from the chin down onto the arm of Pico Lopez as we go into 8 minutes of added time. 1-1, remarkably, is the score between Argentina and Cape Verde. With Paredes in possession, we've seen a stack of late goals already in the last 32 of this World Cup. And we'll get another one here. Ball down, headed down by Gonzalez. It should be easily cleared. One of the Cape Verde defenders made a hash of getting it away. He went down trying to buy a free kick and didn't get it. Recycled back for Paredes. Alvarez onto his left foot. A lot of traffic to try and get through. Then threaded it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and impressive Kevin Pina gets it away. It's towards halfway, but it's inevitably going to come straight back again. And it's Romero to his right-hand side for Molina.
At this stage of the game, Cape Verde are better off just man-marking Messi, to be honest with you, because anything decent's come, it's either him picking it up and then fading these beautiful balls in the box that are causing trouble, or him creating something for himself.
Nearly 1 o'clock in the morning, back home. Thank you for staying with us, for being up with us on a Friday night. Drama unfolding for our eyes and our ears. It's Paredes, right-footed effort from distance. Vizinha can all but catch it. He did enough. And they'll be more than happy that in stoppage time they're dead level and they're restricting Argentina to 35-yard efforts.
Certainly are. Good goalkeeping there. Made it look easier than potentially it was. Decent strike. Just looking at the replay at present. Yeah, got 2 solid hands behind it.
Spun away from his grip, but he was able to gather at the second attempt. And now Vizinha drives it forward from the edge of his own penalty area. 1-1, 6 to go here in Miami. Montero for Cape Verde. Almost dispossessed Alexis McAllister, who was just able to protect the ball and get it back for Paredes. Now to Romero, coming away from the edge of his own penalty area. I don't think they've had a single-sided goal since they scored. Cape Verde, maybe one off-target shot, that long-range free kick from Kevin Pina that went about 10 yards wide. But they still do have this proverbial puncher's chance. Argentina coming forward again with McAllister at no great tempo, which has been their problem throughout really since they took the lead. Just haven't done enough. Romero for Paredes. Paredes out to the Argentinian right-hand side for Molina. Deflected, the cross that comes in. Spins over the head of Pico Lopez. Should be easily cleared by Moreira down the Cape Verde right. He's got distance on it, but no real accuracy. He's going to come straight back. Lisandro Martinez. Alexis McAllister. Little layoff on the edge of the penalty area to Messi. Messi spins one way. One good turn, then deserves another, and he's far too good for the covering Sidney Cabral, who's fouled him, and it's a free kick near the edge of the penalty area, and this might be his and Argentina's moment.
Well, his feet were too quick. Messi's gone down literally 3 yards from the edge of the box. Absolute ideal for a left footer, and I've got a feeling this is the end of Cape Verde. I really do. He's got a wonderful opportunity from here.
By the time he strikes it, we will be in the 95th minute. And in a World Cup that has already been laced with late drama. Will Lionel Messi be able to hear those cries of adulation that you can hear here in Miami Gardens? Will he be able to go to the well yet again and score his 8th goal of this tournament, which would send Argentina to an 11th straight win and through to a last 16 tie with Egypt?
There's about 15,000 people behind that goal that think he's going to score, and to be fair, I tend to agree with him.
15,000 at that end, there might be 2 or 3 here. Knowing what is coming and being able to deal with it are 2 completely different things. It's Messi on his left foot, trying to clear a 6-man wall that's got a draft excluder behind it. Here he comes, through the wall, spilled by the goalkeeper, then headed towards him by the Argentinian midfield, and he's caught it, Vizinha, and he goes down holding his chest. I'm not convinced there's anything wrong with him, but he just buys his side a little bit of time to reset, and by Messi standards, it was a poor effort. Past the wall that did jump, but it was a comfortable enough save.
No, Cabral has got a big left foot on that, who was sort of shielding the goalkeeper's view, his own goalkeeper. He's got a left foot on it, which is almost wrong-footed, the goalkeeper. But Vizinha's done well again, parrying it out.
3 to go. And Cape Verde survive another Messi moment. They'll bring the ball down. The men in dark blue win a free kick of their own in Argentinian territory. They can't, can they? Surely not. They have this set-piece opportunity, and this might be their only chance to get the job done before we go to extra time. They will load the penalty area, or the edge of the penalty area. Borges and Pico and Kevin Pina all coming forward. Willie Semedo's hardly had a touch since coming on, is there as well. It's going to be Sidney Cabral, by the look of it, to swing a ball inside that penalty area and hope someone can get on the end of it. In comes the delivery now. It's an easy header away. Comes back down towards the left back, who will work it through the centre circle and out to the right-hand side for Montero. 90 seconds left. 1-1. That has been the scoreline since the 59-minute mark. So we've had parity here for the first half hour and the last 37 minutes. Argentina led for half an hour, but on the cusp of being taken to extra time. Good turn by Montero. Semedo cleared from here. Out of play for a Cape Verde throw. Just over a minute left. Can they serve it forward one last time? Pico into the feet of Montero. Montero opens it up. Comes into the space in central midfield. Pina working it wide out of the left flank. Another opportunity to try and deliver. One that they haven't taken up. Varela working it back through the midfield instead. Pina is trying to run the clock down before they serve it for 40 seconds to go. Varela making the run, score now, and Argentina around. He's been brought down. No, referee says no. Waved his hands up immediately. He was outside the penalty area, but only just left of centre. Play goes on. It's half cleared. Borges playing it back. Argentina watch it out of play, and in fact, they're going to get a free kick out of it that they've taken quickly in the left back position. So they've now got 20 seconds left. And will they be able to score the all-important third goal of the day? McAllister playing it back, 1-1.
It looks as though they don't want to, Jim, by the looks of it, and the intensity of this build-up and counter-attack from Argentina.
Now he comes for Nico Gonzalez. The 8 minutes are up, and that is that. 90 minutes played, and Cape Verde, the third smallest nation in World Cup history, completely unheralded before a ball was kicked at this tournament. They have held holders Argentina. They've shown that Spain was no fluke. They've shown Uruguay was no fluke. And they've shown their mettle today. In the midst of a Lionel Messi masterclass, Argentina led, but only for half an hour. Duarte scored out of nothing, and Cape Verde have taken Argentina to extra time, 1-1. And the goalkeeper Vizinha, the Cape Verde captain, had to go for a quick comfort break. That is why the first period of extra time is just being very slightly delayed. He's in goal. In front of him, starting back for him, Herrera, Pico, Borges and Sidney Cabral. Kevin Pina on a yellow card anchors the midfield. And then it's Willie Semedo, a substitute on the right. Duarte, the goal scorer, alongside Montero in the heart of the midfield. Varela on the left. And Livramento up top. And we're back underway for the first period in extra time. Argentina, Emi Martinez in goal, Molina, Romero, Lisandro Martinez and Tagliafico, who's come on for the injured Medina. And then DePaul, McAllister, Fernandez and Nico Gonzalez with Alvarez up top alongside Lionel Messi. That's the state of play at the moment. Argentina are allowed to make another change now. They can make a double change. But they've only got one juncture left to do it. As far as Cape Verde are concerned, they too can make two more changes. Kevin Pina inside his own penalty area here for Borges. It's 1-1 here in Miami Gardens at the start of extra time. Pico Lopez, when he was playing his football and crumbling as a young boy, could never have possibly dreamt that this would come about. Remember, he was picked up on LinkedIn. Originally he got a message from the Verdean Football Association. He thought it was a joke and spam, and he ignored it because it came in Portuguese. And it was only about 9 months later that they tried again and did it in English, that he understood what was going on and pledged his allegiance to them. Good ball through the penalty area, and he's there to clear after a fashion. He did enough to get it away from the on-rushing Argentinian player Enzo Fernandez. It was a miscue. It's come off the top of his foot and gone behind for a first corner in extra time. And Messi will try to cross the take. 1-1 the score with 92 on the clock.
Yeah, Pino just got a nick to second slip, probably best way to describe it, and he's just gone for a corner. Argentina got an opportunity just to toss the ball in the box, 5 in the box, and 2 just edging in from the outside.
Ball is swung in, he's taken a header on his way through from the near post, comes back down, left-footed effort, blazed in with real quality by Lisandro Martinez, and Argentina lead again. That's a magnificent strike. Corner came in, wasn't cleared. Near post flick came out for Lisandro Martinez. To say he had work to do is beginning to tell the story. But he's chested it down and has bludgeoned it into the roof of the net. And the celebrations that you can hear, born of Argentinian relief. They lead again with Lisandro Martinez's dramatic, stunning strike. Only the second of his international career. Nightmare averted in Miami. It looks that way.
Well, Martinez looks as though he's got his team out of trouble, and the Argentinians made great runs there, but the Cape Verde defenders did not pick Martinez up at the far post, and they took an eternity to get out to him, not thinking he's going to shoot from that angle, and he's whipped it brilliantly with his left foot into this near post. Goalkeeper, no reaction time on that. I think they think he's going to cross the ball. He just shut his foot and helped it into the roof of the net.
Oh, it's a stunning strike. It really is a magnificent finish. Play hasn't resumed from the kickoff just yet. I wonder if there's something that they're having a look at here. It's not immediately obvious what it is. The goal does stand. 2-1 then to Argentina. And Cape Verde need a second miracle, a second equalising goal. Here's Borges, back to his goalkeeper. And Vazinha will clear from inside his 6-yard box, forward over halfway. Headed down by Lisandro Martinez, who at the moment is the match winner. Yet another game that has gone to extra time for Argentina in the knockout stages of the World Cup. They've got such a good record in them. They've taken to extra time in 11 previous World Cup matches. They've gone on to win 9 of those 11. The only defeats coming against Germany. One after extra time in the 2014 final. And one on penalties in the quarters in 2006. Cape Verde bring the ball forward with Varela. Surely too much to ask for them to be able to conjure up anything again. Moreira, well, the Argentine players is down hurt. The play will go on.
It's Romero, he's got up again. You're all right.
Oh, he's okay. He's making his way forward. It's Varela. Romero back in position, having rolled around for a while. Cape Verde back on the ball. Got to go for it. Pico to Kevin Pina. Swung down to the left-hand side. Elio Varela. Good little ball threaded on the overlap. Sidney Cabral wins the corner, which is Cape Verde's first for a while. Certainly their first of extra time as his cross deflects off McAllister. 2-1 Argentina.
Yeah, as I say, Cape Verde just switched off from that corner, didn't see the danger when it fell to Martinez and paid the price, and they've got to try and pull themselves back into the game now.
Sidney Cabral's going to take this corner, both arms above his head. It's it left-footed towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's repelled by Alessandro Martinez. Nico Gonzalez, I beg your pardon. And out for another corner.
Yeah, good head from Gonzalez there. And then loading up the box, Cape Verde.
So pieces will appear to be their best opportunity. You can hear how the mood has changed. Here comes this latest Cabral corner. It's travelled a long way through the 6-yard box. Nico Lopez threw an Achilles at it to try and turn it towards goal. Has deflected away and out for another corner, 3 in quick succession.
Yeah, good opportunity there. Pinballing around the box and then just a back heel was sent it behind for a corner. Not the best of corners, that last one. Just as well commit players into the box, I think.
So another corner to be taken.
Yeah, even Messi thinks he's got to do some defending work.
Well, after a fashion, the ball is not square. He'll come out and chase. Right-footed effort is pinged towards goal by the fullback Moreira, but he's blocked it. Goes out towards Kevin Pina, who's lost possession. Argentina will try and break quickly now. 2 against 3. Messi just deliberately peels away. Doesn't try and stay up with the attack. Wanted the ball to be played back to him, finding the space. He has it now, but Cape Verde got 8 back behind the ball. Almost midway through the first period of extra time here on TalkSport. 1-1 after 90 minutes. Argentina already back ahead through Lisandro Martinez's stunning effort. It's the second international goal. The previous one came against Ecuador back in 2024. Has the ball at his feet. Manchester United man working it out to his left. Argentina against Egypt if it stays this way. That's a game that will be played in Atlanta on Tuesday. England's game set again to be a 1 o'clock kickoff Monday morning, and if you're listening to the radio thinking, yeah, we've known that for months, then you're not quite abreast of the developments over the rest of the day when it seems as though it's going to be pulled forward a good few hours. It hasn't been. Ball inside the Argentinian penalty area. It's Messi. Left-footed shot might have been deflected wide. It's blocked, and then another block knocks Sidney Cabral off his feet. It's come off him and gone out for an Argentinian corner. It was Alvarez that had the shot. Argentina with a corner as they look to try and make this game safe, leading 2-1.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the scoreline stays the same, the fallout from this from Argentina's point of view. Alternatively, whether they'll just draw a line under it, Jim, and say, look, we're through, difficult game, we didn't play at our best, probably underestimated the opposition, but got away with it.
Got a corner on the right-hand side. Verde defender who's down hurt. Sidney Cabral's okay. Ended up wearing that last shot. Got his body in the way selflessly. Argentina corner taken by Messi in towards the near post. Half cleared out on the edge of the area. Right-footed effort was blazed towards goal by Enzo Fernandez. Ricochets away and goes out for a throw. Don't forget, later tonight, Colombia-Ghana. They play for the right to meet Switzerland. It's a 2:30 kickoff. Couple of changes for Colombia. Daniel Munoz and Johan Majica start. And Ghana making 4 changes to the side that lost against Croatia in the final group game. It's a 2:30 kickoff. You won't miss a kick. Off comes Kevin Pina, and they've taken the goal scorer Deroy Duarte off as well. Benchimol and Yannick Semedo are the players that have come on. Double change for Cape Verde. They've played their hand. Argentina in possession. 99 minutes gone. Defending just outside his own penalty area from Romero, who turned into trouble and then swiftly away from it. He's played a good ball between the lines for Enzo Fernandez. Ball then worked back inside the penalty area, comes in behind the run of Alvarez, and Cape Verde are going to be able to bring it away. And they'll make progress down the left with substitute Elio Varela. Goes out. It's a throw. They're taking it quickly. 5 minutes left in this first period of extra time. Cape Verde trailing 2-1. Montero. Out to the right-hand side. Back for Pico Lopez. Forward from him to Montero again. Plenty of space for him. Works it down towards Elio Varela. Varela back behind square. Montero chipping it in. It's too long. Took a lively bounce on the edge of the 6-yard box, but Martinez with quick hands is able to bring the ball under control.
Once again, the Argentinians not putting any pressure on Cape Verde at all. They're able to pass the ball, get turned, pop the ball in the box, and it's a dangerous tactic to play. It really is.
Molina clearing up the right flank for Argentina, and then cleared up at the back by Cape Verde by Sidney Cabral. Back from him to Yannick Semedo, who's the midfielder anchoring the 5. He's got it again here. It's his rifle underneath the ball and lays it down to the left for Elio Varela. Argentina backing off very respectfully, allowing Cape Verde the opportunity to be able to get bodies forward, which might be a dangerous tactic here. Colombians knowing that they need more possession, they need more of a cutting edge, just need even half chances again. Scored from 1 in the first half, need something to break their way as Borges lays it back for Sidney Cabral. Now Elio Varela. Varela, good quick feet from him. McAllister comes across, he's nudged to the ground. Goal kick though, I'm sure is the correct decision.
Yeah, Cabrera there, he's picked the ball up, he's facing 3 defenders. All you've got to do is open your body up and pop it in the box at that stage. He's decided to take 3 on and lost possession.
Well, Argentina have won their last 7 World Cup matches against African opposition. Their only defeat to aside from the African continent came back in 1990 in the opening game of that tournament, when as holders they were beaten by Cameroon. It was an almighty shock, one of the very biggest. Just thought for a moment that something similar potentially could happen today. Still not completely out of the question. Well, they've got an awful lot of work to do. They need an equaliser, their second equaliser of the day. Cape Verde will bring it forward here with Sidney Cabral. It's laid back outside the box. Comes back to him again. Can he wrap his left foot around? Oh, he's danced inside. The challenger McAllister. Oh, brilliant! That is a stunning goal. An unbelievable goal. I mean, if you didn't see it, you just couldn't comprehend it. He's worked it onto his wrong foot, his right. He has curled it into the bottom right-hand corner. A quite extraordinary finish in a stunning game of football. Sidney Cabral with the best goal of the lot, with the most famous goal in this World Cup so far. Cape Verde, a side who never know when they're beaten. Sidney Cabral with a moment that will forever be etched in the history of this great tournament. Argentina on the ropes again. It is 2-2, and the biggest shock of the lot could yet happen. Sidney Cabral has just written his name into folklore. This was supposed to be Messi's day. It could end up being the messiest of them all for Argentina.
Well, I've got to say, Jim, I've just seen the best goal at this World Cup, bar none, and I'm talking about even going forward in the final. It was a magnificent goal. At the right time, it come out of absolutely nothing. He's cut inside, opened the goal up, and he's curled it with pace and power, and to beat Martinez as well. And this is a team, Argentina, we're saying defensively very strong. I mean, they have been really, really poor.
He danced away from McAllister, who's defending really left a lot of it inside. He picked it up on his left foot, he just shuffled inside, and he bought a ticket and won the lottery. It is an extraordinary finish. It's an extraordinary finish in any game, but in the context of extra time against the World Cup holders, it is beyond comprehension. Argentina bringing forward again. Alvarez with a little cushion header, and they're on the front foot. Cape Verde. Alvarez sprints down towards the linesman near side because he thought that there was a handball. Cape Verde have got it. Oh, and Sidney Cabral has put too much on the pass for Elio Varela, and it's gone out of play. It is 2-2 here in Miami as we go into 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first period of extra time.
Well, Cabrera he's literally run right back into his half after that goal, jumped into the crowd, kissed his wife or girlfriend or somebody's wife and girlfriend, and got back on the bed. You've never seen scenes like it, Jim. Honestly, absolute bedlam. And you just cannot believe this scoreline.
Argentina have brought on Gonzalo Montiel, who scored the winning penalty in the shootout in the 2022 World Cup final. He's replaced Nahuel Molina. He's on at right back. 2 minutes of added time in the first period of extra time still to go. A first period in which both sides have scored. Here's Messi, good save for Zinha. Montiel tried his luck, and Sidney Cabral, the hero of the hour, gets it away. It's his second hugely significant block of this second half, never mind the goal. And they'll bring it forward again with Elio Varela. How could you possibly go to sleep through this? 2-2. And we're in the second minute of added time at the end of the first period of extra time.
I'll tell you what, and you get the impression if they up the tempo, Cape Verde, they'll win it. Argentina are flat as a pancake at this moment in time, and probably have been in tempo terms since Messi's goal.
You could almost say, that they're there for the taking, certainly in terms of Argentinian performances. Just for context, 10 wins in a row, 1 defeat in 17, 5 defeats in 86, 1 goal conceded in 6. They've lost only 9 games in the 100 they played under Scaloni. But Cape Verde are on the verge of at least taking them to penalties. Twice they've looked down and out, and on both occasions they've equalised. Well, you thought they had a lot of admirers for the way they played in the group stage. They're making friends across the world here. 2-2, and irrespective of what happens today, this has been at the very least an enormous fight for Argentina. And a massive wake-up call. Messi caught in possession. Still actually ricocheted off him. He gets it back from Montiel, whose ball back to Messi was really poor. It was overhit. Cape Verde can bring it away. Cushion layoff in the midfield. Now it comes down to Elio Varela. Montero's been fouled. Free kick to Cape Verde as the referee, I think he's saying, well, you can play on. You've got the ball at your feet. And now it'll be chipped forward out of play so that the stricken player can receive some treatment, and that will be the end of the first period of extra time, I think. Or maybe we've played for 3 extra minutes.
Yeah, I think Borges is just pointing out that Romero's gone through the back of one of these players more than once. They've done nothing about it.
Just having a view of the goal again. It was an Argentinian player that covered himself in glory, turned away as the shot came in, just on his back. He wasn't brave defending at all, which has been one of the real tenets of Cape Verde's potential success story today. They'll turn around in half-time of extra time, having both scored in the first period and absorbing second period to come. It's 2-2. 2-2, Stu. Just extraordinary. What have you spotted?
It certainly is. I'm just thinking that we've not mentioned the heat here. There's not blistering sunshine, but we're all very, very clammy. The heat here, and I don't know whether that's played such a big part in this game being such a slow tempo for the vast majority of the game.
Yeah, could well be. Argentina just haven't been able to fulfill their standards at all. Just live up to the kind of level of performance that we are used to seeing. 2 apiece. Just to reiterate the point that Stu made earlier, it's not as if Cape Verde, quality of the finishing notwithstanding, have been brilliant. They haven't been.
Well, that's the most damning thing from Argentina's point of view. They've come up against a team that have, got a couple of goals almost against the run of play, and have kept in the game, but not done great.
Alvarez playing the ball through the Cape Verde penalty area. Montiel, the latest substitute to arrive, got the top of his head to it, and it's gone straight out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Cape Verde. 14 minutes to go. It's the story that I don't think anybody saw coming, with absolutely no disrespect intended whatsoever. Certainly thought that the Verdeans would be really game, would give a good account of themselves, would be able to play to the limit of their ability. But this? No. Nico Gonzalez, back for Taliafico. 1:30 in the morning, and you'll be lying in bed buzzing.
I think you're dreaming, I think you'll be...
No, you're not, I promise you, you're really not. But it is a nightmare of epic proportion that could be unfolding for Argentina. They have a free kick here. Messi, a long, long way out, at the limit of range, is just spotting the ball down, and the wall is being marched back 10 yards and will stand about 3 yards outside the penalty area, right of centre.
Yeah, he's going to curl it in with his left foot, and he's going to drop it just outside the 6-yard box. And with his quality, this could be a big, big problem if they don't stay with runners.
Yeah, Nico Gonzalez might be his target here. McAllister stands by the penalty spot. It's put into that area. Cape Verde got first contact and then second, with a flank kick away from the edge of the penalty area. Returned then by Taliafico with a header that goes out to the Cape Verde left. And they're on the counter-attack. 5 against 5 for a moment as they bring the ball forward. McAllister has come back, has been able to knock Varela's pass away. Back out to the left flank once more with a chance to deliver. Play back instead towards Semedo. Right-footed effort from him. And he'd love to have it back because he's pulled it 10 yards wide. Not a good effort at all from Yannick Semedo. Out of play. 12 to go in extra time at 2-2.
Semedo there taking the wrong choice totally. A little switch to the right and a cross into the box was the order of the day on that occasion. And Argentina once again still slow, methodical build-up. Verde looked as comfortable at this stage of the game as I've seen them do.
Taliafico on the Argentinian left. Plays the ball back towards the corner of the penalty area. Enzo Fernandez will take over. Player snapping at his heels. Was he fouled? Referee says no. The play will go on with Paredes. Playing the ball back to the edge of the centre circle again. Now back towards Lisandro Martinez, the scorer of a stunning goal. It has been a masterclass of finishing here. Julian Alvarez over to join in. Works the ball down towards Taliafico. Twice Argentina have led. Twice Cape Verde have pegged them back. Once after half an hour, once after 11 minutes in extra time. Now Argentina's latest attack fizzles out because an offside flag has come up.
Yeah, great decision there by the linesman. You look across that line, you can't believe how good they are at their work, the officials.
Arthur, the Canadian official who put the flag up on that occasion. Now Brazina takes the free kick. This is an Argentinian side that in their run of 10 straight wins coming into today had only conceded twice and scored 29. So Cape Verde have scored as many goals in a 44-minute spell in this game as Argentina had conceded in their last 10 matches combined. 10 minutes to go in extra time before penalties. Argentina, mind, have got a really good record in penalties as well. They've won their last 4 shootouts. Cape Verde might think that their best chance of winning this is actually to do it in the next 10 minutes, but
sorry, Jim, I can't help thinking that the way Argentina are playing in a slow tempo, that they think that they've won this penalty shootout.
Nico Gonzalez coming forward, sliding challenge comes in. Borges taking the acclaim of his fellow defenders. He's put it out of play for another corner.
I've got to say, Borges and Pino have been very, very good in this game. They've not always been clinical. They've been caught out by the odd pass over the top of them. Also Borges. In the main, they've been a rock at the back.
Messi to take the latest corner. 2-2 the scoreline. Darting running towards the near post from McAllister. Oh, it's in. It's 3-2 Argentina. Ball swung in. Romero takes the acclaim. Messi's delivery absolutely inch perfect. Cape Verde just couldn't repel the latest in a long succession of set pieces. Argentinian fans in the crowd look to the heavens, say their prayers. There are tears of relief. For the third time today in Miami they lead. Now it's 3-2. Now will they be able to hang on? Messi with the corner, Romero with the touch, Virginia looking in despair as he's beaten again, and Cape Verde with it all to do again.
Yeah, you know Romero's got good quality when balls come in the box. He was the one who wanted it a little bit more. There was a melee of players. He's headed it. It's come off a Cape Verde hand actually, and just ended up in the back of the net. So great header. Yeah, just squeezed off of Borges' hand on its way into the back of the net.
And Lionel Scaloni, the Argentinian coach, hardly moved a muscle. He got his right hand and wiped his eyes. Just a little flick across the brow. 3-2. Now Romero claiming the goal. His was not the last touch, as Stuart was saying. His header was on target. I'm sure that it will go down as a Romero goal. And what have Cape Verde got left now? Surely they can't find the third equaliser of the night. It's already one of the great World Cup games, not just of this World Cup, but of any World Cup in the 21st century, and probably of all time. But has it yet got another extraordinary paragraph to be written at the end of this absorbing tale? Emi Martinez playing out from the back, finds Paredes, now to Romero. Now Romero into the feet of McAllister, who's lost possession over on the far touchline, and Cape Verde will be able to bring it forward again. Then they lose out, 3 against 3. The Verdeans are stretched. Well played. Montero comes back, covers the run, finds his goalkeeper. Vizinha side foots out from the penalty area, then gets it back from Borges. He's under pressure, but keeps his feet, side foots it forward towards Moreira. One of the Argentinian players has just gone down there off the ball, I think, which is a concern. And Cape Verde will bring it forward. He's back on his feet now. I think it's Nico Gonzalez that went down. Cape Verde bringing it forward at the other end, away to our right. They're kicking from left to right in their dark blue shirts. They've got it with Semedo, left-hand side of the area. Cabral drives it in. It's blocked by the nearest Argentinian defender. Cabral gets it back. Back from him to Montero. Montero, right-footed. Moreira, the right back, stretches and can't keep it alive by hooking it through the 6-yard box. And Argentina have got 6 minutes to survive to win it.
I'll tell you what, the Argentinian players are going down like flies now. McAllister on the far side, I think potential cramp on this one. They can't wait for the final whistle, and Cape Verde still look as though they've got plenty of energy in their movement.
Songs of delight from the Argentinian support, hymns of praise to their heroes who have not covered themselves in glory today. But as we've said so many times, sometimes it's just about getting the job done. They have been remarkably unconvincing here. Well, they can worry about what's to come, Egypt next, in about 10 minutes' time, unless they concede another equaliser, and a rash challenge will give a free kick here to Cape Verde as Helio Varela was brought down on the left-hand edge of the box. And Montiel, the player with the challenge, and he's going to get a yellow card for it.
That is a ridiculously poor challenge, I've got to say, and he's put his team in a little bit of lumber here. It's a yard outside the box on the left-hand side, and they've got a great opportunity here. Well, literally they could commit everybody, whip it in, get it on target, and flash across the face of the goalkeeper.
We're in the 116th minute. It's Argentina 3, Cape Verde 2. Argentina have got everybody back. 2 in a wall, protecting the near post. Cape Verde keep it stayed back, as you'd expect. They've got 2 in the D, 2 just outside the box. 5 arrive in the penalty areas. They haven't committed as many body spoilers as you might have anticipated, and Martinez makes the save. And Sidney Cabral almost did it again. He went for that same top right-hand corner. And Martinez, with a strong top hand, was able to beat the effort away for a corner.
It was, well, I'll tell you what, that was dipping just under the crossbar. It was an absolute magnificent effort, I've got to say. Just replicating the goal almost. Martinez was equal to it. He's got a big hand up, and I tell you what, he's only just got fingers to that.
That is a great save, because it's a great spring. He has climbed a mile to be able to reach that and knock it away.
Yeah, he certainly has. It's a wonderful save, and players are going down now. Cramp is setting.
As soon as he hit that, Sidney Cabral went down with cramp, which is being attended to now by his teammate Moreira. All the changes have been made from both sides. It's going to be a corner, which Semedo will come across to take on the Cape Verde right. The referee has got his hand to his ear and is now indicating something to the Cape Verde medical staff, or is it the Argentinian medical staff? He wants somebody to come on. So it's just a little hiatus now. What's the problem? Is there I think there's a little bit of blood on the shirt of one of the Argentinian players, Nico Gonzalez. Taliafico it is. He's just receiving a new number 3. And then, having been patched up, he will be able to go on to defend this corner potentially, but they're not going to be able to patch him up in time, I don't think. Are they going to be allowed to take the corner before Taliafico can come back on? Yes. Taliafico makes his way on now. So a corner to be taken by Semedo. 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Cape Verde need an equaliser. They found 2 already. But at the moment, they're on the brink of the most heroic of failures. Semedo to take the corner. Little jittering runner, swings the ball in towards the near post. That was not what was required from a Verdean perspective, because he didn't get any height on it at all, and it's easily headed away at the near post and straight out for a throw. But still they're in an attacking position. 118 on the clock. Argentina 3, Cape Verde 2. Egypt wait the winners of this. Ball thrown into the Argentinian penalty area and cleared and stopped from going out of play for a corner. Won back well by Moreira. Stands it up towards the far post. Little header down. Oh, comes Martinez. Got there ahead of Livramento, was it? And got a last touch on it to tip it away for a corner. There's still a Cape Verde player down, but it is going to be a corner to be taken on their left flank. And still they have a chance with 90 seconds left. Taking the corner short, but too quickly for the referee, because Borges was still down, face first, in the 6-yard box.
Yeah, they've got to overload the box now.
Swung in towards the near post and headed away again. Comes back out, half clear, hook back over the top. Oh, he's blazed it over the bar from an offside position. Livramento, it wouldn't have counted. He didn't know that. He's missed the target from a great area, but it is a free kick to Argentina in the 120th minute, and they are nearly there somehow.
Yeah, it was just offside. The Argentinian defence done really well there, all pushed out to a man, and that just shows the difference between Messi and the lesser players. The lesser players snatch it, situations like that.
30 seconds to go, plus you would imagine 2 minutes of time to be added. Argentina just need to maintain possession. Scarves being swirled round the heads of some of the Argentine supporters away to our right, but several others aren't taking anything for granted in this game of all games. They've conceded a throw, which Cape Verde will have inside their own half. All eyes on the 4th official, and Katia Garcia indicates that there will be 3 extra minutes to play. Cape Verde will feel that they more than deserve an equaliser in it to take it to penalties. Can they find it? Semedo, good ball between the lines. Shot comes in, takes a deflection, sent Martinez the wrong way, but it's sponged immediately wide. It's out of play for another corner. Lisandro Martinez down hurt, having won the shot. Another corner to be taken on the Cape Verde right. Can they finally get one of these deliveries right?
Yeah, they need to do that. A brilliant reverse pass there that just set the opportunity up. Great shooting opportunity, and every opportunity you can bet now. Oh, it's a fantastic block, I've got to say. Martinez has done brilliantly there.
Not sure Mrs. Martinez will have been too proud of that one. He really threw everything, and I mean everything, in the way of Elio Varela's shot. 3-2 in stoppage time. In comes the corner, swung back to the edge of the area, right-footed through a crowd. Well worked, but Montero's effort was blocked. He's got to make sure he wins the seconds, and he hasn't. And Argentina could be in on the counter-attack here as they look to put this to bed. Ball swept through, poor one. Out comes Mazzina. He's just tapped it past Alvarez and got his side on the front foot again. And there's still time. There's 90 seconds to go. Forward come Cape Verde. Willed on by everybody outside of Argentina and Miami. Get to the byline. Semedo drills it. Take the deflection, half clear. Back outside the penalty area. Right for the shot. Well wide. And by the time Martinez takes the goal kick, they'll only be a minute away. They're going to get away with this, Argentina. But boy, have they got away with it.
I'll tell you what, that tells you everything about this Argentinian side tonight. There's 3 players stood up the pitch when their team are defending. Martinez has just signalled to the bench, get me off. I don't know whether he's pulled a thigh in that last effort at all. But they're desperate for this final whistle.
Well, the decisive goal has now gone down as an own goal. It is a Borges own goal. 3-2 Argentina. 40 seconds to go. Messi flicking the ball down the left-hand touchline. Cape Verde win it back down by the corner flag. They will clear. Long ball from Borges. It's sailed over Lisandro Martinez, who is really on one leg now. Argentina send another high ball forward, headed by the Cape Verde defence. Back for Vizina, who, like a rush goalie in an under-9 match of school, has just rolled it out and brings it forward himself. High ball over the top from Montero. They're clattering everybody forward. Argentina winning on the edge of their box. Now Moreira trying to poke it forward. Sliding challenge comes in. It's going to go out for a Cape Verde throw. 10 yards from the corner flag. 3 minutes are up. They've taken it quick. Need to get it in. Semedo down for Livramento. Time very much against them. Livramento's cross is blocked, and that is it. And Argentina have won. A simply stunning game of football. One of the greatest that the World Cup has ever seen. In Miami, the adopted home of Lionel Messi, where he's written so many chapters of brilliance. And he's been part of another extraordinary story today. But it looked for a long time as though it might not have a happy ending. Needless to say, he was heavily involved early on. A moment of brilliance that gave Argentina the lead and didn't begin to hint at what was to come. But 2 extraordinary Cape Verde equalisers. One from De Roy Duarte. The second, the goal of the tournament from Sidney Cabral. You can shut that race off now. 2-2 in the second period of extra time before Argentina just got their noses in front again. They were desperately poor for large swathes of this. Cape Verde brilliant. The first World Cup defeat that they have ever suffered. A game that nobody here will ever get. Argentina 3, Cape Verde 2. What a privilege to share it with you here on TalkSport.